No, I'm off on the weekends, luckily.
All right, should kick in a second. I don't want to watch this back. It would have recorded this part as well. There we go. There we go. Right, let's make sure that's on mute, which it is. And yeah, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, Project Papa Customs here, Turtle Talk live. And yeah, we are joined by Zack, returning guest from SNA Toyz. He's killed Robert Downey Jr. Don't judge him. I would do the same. And we have special guest with me today. He's been a day one follower and a massive inspiration of mine and a good friend. It is Jesse Slate from Clean Slate Customs. How are we both doing? We good?
Very good, very good. How are you?
All good, mate. Again, take a moment and just admire Jesse's backdrop, okay? Let's all look. Oh, we're ogling your backdrop right now, mate. It beats the crap out of this. Oh, dear. All good. Right, I'm not sure if we lost audio, but I am in trouble. There we go. I've got Zack, Jesse, if you're around, you've visioned your screen's frozen up on my end, but if you can hear me, we should be all right. Typical. The moment I go live and things go 2020 in a nutshell, just keeps on punching.
At least you were able to go live, though.
I know. At least we got to go live this time. Before I had the wrong email. But yeah, so Jesse, if you can hear me, right, try jumping out and coming back in again. It should clear up, all right. Yeah, he'll pop back in a second. Yay! Good start. Let's see if right. Let me have a look. Let's get us going on the phone. Oh, lovely. We've got 5. Okay, yeah. Neil Robinson, evening all. Evening, Neil. How are we doing? All good. Just waiting for Jesse to kick back in and we can get the ball rolling. But yeah, so that, oh, fucking, you have posed that Venom up wicked into the frame. I love that right there.
Oh, yeah, you got him in the Iron Man pose.
That's wicked. I love it. Just creeping in. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. I can't really put anything without having to hold it the entire night. Just like this.
You get you like a little stand right there.
I know, right? It'd be great. I could just get that. And it would be in focus too, but it's not in focus.
Is that what Logan sounds like?
Yeah, it looks like Jesse is coming back in. There he is. Connecting your audio, it'll kick in a second. There he is.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. Trust me, I've had worse internet connections on this thing.
I don't even know what the hell just happened right now. My phone the whole entire phone turned off completely. I don't know why. But it started rebooting and everything. And that's never happened. So sorry about that.
That's all right.
The trick is you have to charge it.
Charger is plugged in direct. So that, yeah, in there. I have no idea what just happened right now.
It's all right. It's the moment I said that we should all just ogle your backdrop, and it just sort of froze. And yeah. Perfect timing as always. But yes, he's back. He's all suited and booted. Look at that lovely t-shirt there.
Yeah.
Backdrop and nice toy. So we've seen in your Instagram videos and pictures, obviously your workbench quite frequently. So is this the same room that you're in right now as your workbench?
Yes, it is.
And this is just what's behind you.
Yeah, this is I call it my workroom. This is where I keep all my dork stuff. I keep the kids locked out as much as possible. They do come in and they start banging on the shelves and knocking everything over. And this is where the work gets done, though. It is in this room. It's kind of my own little escape because I've got 4 girls and just recently had a son about 5 months ago. So with me being the only guy here, I just need my guy time. So I've made my little man cave and got this all going for me. So this is where I come to escape and get out of real life situations, and
Yeah, you need your panic room, man. You're outnumbered.
Hey, just wait till they're 10 and 13.
Oh shit, yeah. Wait until they hit 13.
Oh, I'm already there. I've got an 18-year-old now. So
oh geez,
yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah,
that's all right. At least you know.
All going through the hormone phase.
Mm.
Awesome.
Well, at least now you'll be prepared and ready for when your other girls hit that age. You'll be like, you're right. I've been through this before.
I think it was about 3.5, 4 weeks ago. I finally got introduced to somebody my daughter has been kind of interested in.
Okay.
And, yeah, I scared the shit out of him. So yeah, so you know, I just let him know, like, very politely, very calmly, that I will go to jail for my kids. You know, so yeah.
I bet you went full Bad Boys 2 on them, but you were like, who the fuck are you?
Oh, I got a picture of his license and everything. So yeah, I kind of did.
Reggie, who the fuck is Reggie? Best scene ever. But I would do the same. No lie. No cap, as these kids are saying.
Right.
Yeah. Oh dear Lord. But that's great, man. But I can imagine it's eating quite a lot into your time and your energy. But I couldn't imagine anything better, man. I mean, I'm no kids me, but I would say I'm absolutely gagging to be a father, but I really can't wait to be a dad. They ain't getting their hands on any of this shit though. Fuck no, they're getting their own kid. I'll teach them how to do this, but with their own, you know, Playmobil shit. Well, I'm rocking Playmobil too, so I can't really say much on that. But
right. I tell you, that terrifies me, honestly. You know, I went to my buddy's house last weekend. He's got 3 kids. We went downstairs to set his panic room up, and kids came down, started replacing all the figures we set up with baby dolls, and I was like, man, no.
This isn't a trade. There's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, my girls pretty much know like what they're allowed to go. I have a fodder box full of just like figures that they can mess around and do whatever they want with. But everything on the detox and on the shelves and on my desk is like a no man's zone. Nobody's allowed near it. So they're trained pretty good. They're trained pretty good on that.
Good. That's it. I can't imagine how the training went to get to the level of understanding. Was there any broken figures in the process?
I've had a couple broken figures in the process. Luckily, they're just Marvel Legends.
Oh, that's
right. Yeah, just the Marvel Legends. So I'm like, you know what? I'll let it slide. But if they got a hold of like my Mayfex Marvel characters, oh my god, yeah, they'd be getting an ass whooping.
I know. You say Marvel Legends, and it just so happened to be the Marvel Legends Rogue, and my heart would have broken. I know. It's
Good
like
point.
they've just
Good
released.
point.
They're just renounced the vintage with the different heads. So, but yeah, the one rare bloody Marvel Legend, Hasbro Marvel Legend, and then but
you can have the Toy Biz Rogue, but don't touch my Marvel Legend Rogue.
I know. Yeah, Toy Biz, I'll never.
Yeah. Oh man, but you know they are doing the re-release of the retro Rogue, so that Rogue is going to come down in price. So
with what looks like, and it was funny when I first saw it when it first came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, look at the face, it's different, and they're all having opinion polls on Facebook and shit. And then it looks to me like they've just taken the Rogue body, Marvel Legends Rogue body, and then stuck the Diamond Select head on top of it. It just looks exactly
what it looks like.
Yeah. I don't know. It's Rogue, you know, stop people stamping the main one on eBay for like fucking. I think the highest I've ever seen it was for $1,000. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's gotten so stupid with that bloody figure. It's crazy. It really is. I got mine because I was late in deciding that I wanted to collect the Jim Lee animated series of Marvel Legends. So I was like, yes, now I have to go through the bloody what was it? The Hercules went through. The 12 labors or some shit of finding that fucking Rogue. I managed to get one for a decent price, thank God. And that ain't going back. Sorry, Jordan, you ain't having it back. Cool. Right, let me just quickly go through some chat because there's a few come in. Maverick, 5UK, looking forward to another fun live. Thank you, mate. SNA Toyz, don't know if I'm overstepping.
I just try. My bad.
Do you get the quarter scale NECA Turtles, Zack? Yes, he did. Do you want to show them off?
I brought Ref, and I'm dropping stuff all over the place, so bear with me.
In there, Zack's got a very fun story about them too. It's more sad and heartbreaking, but still. Yeah, you did. Yeah, he's replied in the chat. Cool.
Mikey.
Cool, yeah. Neil Robinson. Yes, I knew as soon as we'll get onto some Mayfix, Neil. Don't you worry. Just waiting for Mayfix Rogue. Yeah, Mayfix Rogue will be sick. I'm surprised we haven't seen one yet since they're going to be bringing out the Gambit soon. But yeah, Mayfix Rogue and Storm would be pretty decent. And I know we've had chats in. I've had chats with Neil in like Mayfix lives and stuff like that, and yeah, it's might as well spin the question round with Mayfix doing the animated or the comic X-Men. Is there any particular comic Mayfix that you would like to see them do from, you know, like be Juggernaut or Colossus? So I guess pretty much all, unless there's a particular version of a character you'd like Mayfix to tackle.
Thor.
Comic book Thor would be awesome.
That would be great.
Yeah,
I would love comic book Thor from them. I want everything from Mayfix. I mean, once that Spider-Man came out, I was all in. I mean, it was game over. I mean, they literally got me from being just Marvel Legends to, okay, let's put Marvel Legends to the side now, and it's all about these guys.
Yeah, they did up the game in their comic book line for sure. I mean, apart from if you can just be that gentle with the wrist pegs, no, the wrist peg issue, you know, with the Spider-Man, it is a big issue, but you know, it just depends. Hopefully not. The Hush for Batman, especially in the DC realm of things, like you, I'm all in on the Hush line. I would love to go the Dark Knight Returns route as well. I just don't have the money to cater for both Batman lines, so I'm going to go with the Hush as there's more characters coming out from them. Marvel, I'm okay in terms of just displaying, and I can toy photography. I can, you know, abuse them a bit more, sticking with the Marvel Legends X-Men. But if they did like a Daredevil and Punisher, then or a Blade, all comic book, yes. Marvel Knights. Oh yeah,
I would love a Punisher from Mayfix. That would be amazing.
Yeah, because they'd love to try and pack in like at least 1.5 figures, like, or give you the option to make it a different figure entirely, like what they did with the Infinity War Thor. You had the option for going sleeveless or armored, and essentially it was 2 figures in one box. Or they'll give you an accessory for something else that's coming down the line. But yeah, the Mayfix is killing it with the comic book line, 100%. But yeah, so
I was really hoping that their next announcement would be either a Punisher or a Captain America, one or the other. Because I feel like there hasn't been a good representation for either one of those figures in figure form. Granted, I think the what was it, the vintage line Punisher, that's my favorite look, where he's got the headband on. That's my favorite look for Punisher. Yeah. But if Mayfix did it with the whole drop down hinges on their hips and the articulation that you can get him into, it's just so much better. I would love a Mayfix Punisher and Captain America.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cap would probably be. You could probably throw that into like some sort of Marvel versus Capcom. You know, that kind of Captain America where you could pull off some of that look. Yeah, for me, definitely Punisher, a Daredevil with sick articulation would be great, especially as we're going to be getting hand ninjas now. Just haven't beat the crap out of a few of those in some shots. Yeah, definitely some more of the street level heroes in Mayfix form for me. I'm all over, absolutely all over. But yeah, so Mayfix wise, bring it on, give us it all now, please.
Exactly. I was so happy to see that they're doing the brown suit Wolverine, because that is my favorite version of him.
Yeah.
So brown suit Wolverine.
Tiger Stripe is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. I do. I like the Tiger Stripe, but the brown suit has always been my number one look for him. So I am pumped that they announced that. I was jumping for joy because my four absolute favorites are Spider-Man.
The armpit right.
What's that?
They got the armpit right too. The cut in the armpit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And really the claws are curved as well, rather than just being straight. So they got some of that nice curve to them as well.
Yep, it looks fantastic. I cannot wait to get that figure.
Actually, yes. With him, I would like to see a Sabretooth. That would be pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like a decent scale as well. Because I know the Venom, you know, a lot of people complained that the Venom was, you know, a bit too short. But I guess, and everyone started arguing, oh, he's from this comic book, he's from that comic book. It's like, just stop, you know. And then they started going off on Anthony's customs because he never likes anything, and then the whole conversation turned into a hate group for Anthony's customs. It's like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. He does not care. But yeah, their Carnage would be good. But yeah, like a Sabretooth to go along with that brown suit Wolverine.
Right.
That's a nice meatball. But yes, so gentlemen, if we shift the conversation, I'm going to share a screen right now because where is it? That one there. If I go share, and then we go to Facebook. All right. What the hell is going on here? So we have an announcement for ToyCon New Jersey. ToyCon New Jersey. This just dropped out of nowhere and slapped me around the face like a giant dick in a porno. So yeah, so apparently in this little ad, exclusive first look at upcoming TMNT releases, world premiere reveal on October 9th to the 11th, only at ToyConNJ. And I guess this is kind of NECA's substitute for what would have been New York Comic Con or their appearance at New York Comic Con.
Right.
So yeah, now with this image, one can only assume it may be, we're hoping it's something that caters across the whole board of video game, cartoon and movie. This image alone kind of leans towards cartoon or comic book with the big question mark, but that's just speculation and that's all we can do. This is literally the only bit of info we've got. So yeah, gents, speculation time. What do you think we might see at this thing, at this little ToyCon New Jersey? Now, I'll start off. Movie, I really don't see them revealing anything too much. Maybe just an in-hand look at the accessory pack, possibly an update on what's happening with Judith Hogue and the whole progress of making April O'Neil. I highly doubt a deal for Elias's unmasked head has gone through yet, even though he is on board. Probably won't see that until next year. Possibly a look at their Splinter and Shredder 2-pack finally, because we know it's coming, but they just haven't shown what else is coming in that 2-pack, because apparently there's some brand new accessories. And maybe an actual prototype look at Oroku Saki and Adayoshi that they teased at Comic-Con. That's all I can really sort of suggest for movie line. Other than that, cartoon-wise, what else? They got so much they can do. Cartoon, maybe, I know, proper display product reveals of all the shit they revealed at Comic-Con. And I've no idea where they want to go with the video game stuff either. But yeah, either way, I'm really excited about what's going to come down the line here. So, Jesse, do you collect the cartoon stuff as well? I think you do, didn't you?
I do. I collect everything that NECA has put out, and it has cost me dearly. Whether it's the movie line, the cartoon line, and the video game line, I've got all three. And so far, I'm pretty much up to date with all of them. The only ones that I don't have right now currently are the Rock Soldiers, and then the Triceratons one that they just came out with, like the two-pack different ones, the Triceraton and the Roddy Robots, and then the two other Triceratons. Those ones aren't out yet. Apparently, they're hitting our shelves here in the U.S. on October 15th or something like that. But in my area, like that I'm in Southern California. I'm over here by a place called Frankensons. I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but they're a collectible show, and it's brings collectors far and wide from all over. And then in our area itself is there's so many collectors. So I mean, when I'm going to a store, I'm competing like no other to try to find these figures. So you know, and sometimes I do get lucky and I come across them. Yeah. But you know, it's pretty much like a 98% fail rate, like guaranteed, because I've seen like all the guys that, you know, work at Frankincense over here in my neighborhood at my targets. I'm like, dude, get back on your side of the hill, you know, like leave this zone for me at least, like stop it now, you know. But
that's it.
Yeah, it's pretty rough getting these NECA figures, but you know, I've been pretty lucky so far.
That's it. Crossing enemy lines, man. This is risky business. So poking them back with sticks. Be gone. Yeah, be gone.
Actually, I have a funny story. There was a guy, I want to say last month, when I was in line at Target, because with the whole COVID thing going on still, we have lines outside, especially on Saturday mornings. So
yeah,
we're waiting in line, and I got there early because one of the Target workers was like, okay, we're going to have them out on our shelves on Saturday morning. So get here early. So I was like, all right, cool, game on. So I got there early. I ended up being the second person in line, which I was like, okay, this is going to work out, because the person in front of me was just some random lady. And I was like, okay, she's not here for any figs of any type. So I'm like, I'm good to go.
You can take her out.
Yeah. So as time goes on, we're getting like the countdown. It's like 30 minutes to go for the door opens, and more people are coming. And of course, you get a good feel for like who's here for what, and what toy collectors look like these days. And it's like they're only there for one thing. And some dorks start lining up behind me. I'm like, okay, it's getting serious. Like, I know these guys are here for it. But then this one dude comes up and he stands in front of the lady. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing? And it's obvious he's there because his COVID mask is superheroes and Iron Man. And I'm like, okay, it's obvious what you're trying to do. And so
it's on now. It's on.
Yeah. So the lady that's in front of me turns around and looks at me and she says, do they not do lines here? And I say very loudly, oh, yes, the fuck we do. This guy just doesn't understand that. He can't see the line behind us. And so he hears me say this, and he just looked back down at his phone immediately. And I'm like, okay, so we're doing that then. And I say that loud enough. And so his next move is he gets on the phone and he calls his wife and he says, oh, honey, is all you need is laundry detergent? And I'm standing there like, bruh, I know why you're here. Don't call your wife telling her you need laundry detergent. Come on now. And so the door's open. The Target person, employee opens the door slides open. The lady gets in front of him, and then I get right behind her, and we start walking in. I'm like, nah, bro, behind me. I was like, if anybody doesn't say anything to you, that's on them, but you're not getting in front of her, and you're not getting in front of me. So
damn right.
So I know this store very well. So I start going, and he's just shadowing me. He's trailing me. Every move he makes, or I make, he's making with me. But then he cuts off, and he's trying to go through the breakthrough at our Targets over here. We have a breakthrough section between the towels and the toy section. And he's trying to cut through the towels, but I'm a tall dude. So my step is pretty long. So I have a big stride. So he tries cutting around, and then right where that intersection is, I barely cross right in front of him. Like, I was just saying out loud, I was like, you're still behind me, dude. And so we get inside. We're at the Marvel section, and instantly I saw the Punisher with the motorcycle set, and there was two of them. So I pick up both of them. I grab one for me, I grab one for my friend. And this is actually when we were going for the the Cobra Troopers for the G.I. Joe. That's what the guy said was going to be for that day. And they weren't out on the shelves yet. They were later that day, but not yet. But anyways, I grabbed those two Punishers, and I was like, you would have got one, man, if you weren't being such like a slimy dick, But I was like, now I'm going to take both of them. And he just looked at me like, you're an asshole. And I'm like, yes, the fuck I am. So yeah, it's just that level of how many collectors and what they're willing to do. And like if the guy would have just been cool, I would have tossed him a pack. You know what I mean? One of the Punishers.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy over here in my area. Like just how many.
Yeah, it just sounds like Fast and Furious walking version, and it's like.
Look,
if you would have, when you crossed him, if you would have said on your left, and just like fucking kept going, like Cap from Winter Soldier, just kept going.
I should have said that. That would have been awesome.
Yeah. It sounds like bloody Fast and Furious race in one of those.
You SoCal boys do it so much different than we do over here.
Where are you at?
I'm in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
We're really like closed off. Like, oh yeah, you can have that, but you boys in California, y'all don't fuck around.
No, we don't. And then it's sad too because we're all grown ass men.
Hey, we all are. It's okay.
And it's like it's pretty crazy, but yeah, it's unforgiving out here.
Oh mate,
like really bad.
You start picking up kids and throwing them out the way because they're in your way. That's
Right.
Oh, I want a movie just made on, it's like Jingle All the Way 3, but for adults, right? You know, just the hunt for the toys. Just, right, not for the kid, no, it's for adults. And it's buying, you know, not even for Christmas, we just want it ourselves. So we're knocking potential Christmas buys out of the way to get to that one figure because we want it, not because the kids want it, but, you know, oh, man alive. Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like, you know, over here in London, it's brutal. You know, it's an aggressive city. You go out into the country, it's a lot more friendlier. You know, and I've had it as well. You know, my co-host is way out in the country, and he said, "Oh, if I go to London, I'm on the train, and I'd like to say hello." You don't say a word to anyone on that train; they will hurt you, right? And it'd probably be me because I hate when people talk. That's how aggressive it is. No one is a morning person on the tube to get on into London to me. It's a bit like New York, you know. It just you get in someone's way on the street, they'll call you an arsehole or some shit. He will just give you a dirty look, and then that'll be about it. But yeah, it's aggressive, man. It's aggressive, but the best stories like that's fucking brilliant. The competition must be so hard out there. As Zach was saying, there's not many collectors in Georgia, is there, for you, Zach?
Well, you know, we did a meetup up in Atlanta last year, like a toy photography meetup, but collectors and photographers, I guess for us on Instagram, we're like, oh, you guys must all be the same, but no, there's a ton of collectors in my area, but we're really closed off. Like and nothing against California, like you guys just go hard, man. Like we're just like oh, you were no, you go ahead, you take that one. You guys are just like, no, fuck you, give me that shit now. That's fine, motherfucker.
It's bad, dude. It's no joke out here. It sucks. You know, I wish it was like that over here. I really do, because, you know, in actuality, like I'm chill. You know, like if you show me respect back, you know, like it's just how it is. But then you get those, there's quite a few actually. I run into like 3 or 4 out here that are just douchebags, and you know they're douchebags, and because. In my area, like after NECA shows their drop dates, right? For especially for the NECA Turtles, we all know the release dates, and I hate that they do that now. I hate that they show everybody when it's going to be in stores, because then we're all, you know, rushing to these stores on this date. But it's really bad that once those figures drop, if you do not get it that week that it comes out, you have no chance at all. No. And then you know, I go to the OfferUp app. I don't know if you guys have it there in England, but we have this app here called OfferUp where people just sell their stuff at, you know, whatever price that they want.
Oh, right.
And
probably.
I put it on like a 25-mile radius, and it's just full of that figure that I was looking for, but at double the cost. You know, so it's like, it pisses me off more that the people that always get a hold of it are the scalpers. You know, and then the real collectors don't get, you know, something that they should just inherently have that these companies are putting out, which in turn goes in for, you know, why is it NECA sending more to these stores, which it's again up to the, what do they call them? The ambassadors or whatever, the store ambassador that they're setting up the shelves themselves or something like that. So I don't know what it is, but here in California for the Casey and what was it? The Casey Jones and Raphael movie 2-pack. Here in California, Southern California, we only got 2 packs per store. That's all we got. But I saw a picture of one in Texas, and they got 10 packs. Yeah, 10 packs. So I was like, how the hell is Texas getting 10 packs and we're only getting 2? That makes no damn sense. So it's like, especially when NECA's distribution center is here in Southern California somewhere. I don't know where in Southern California, but it is. And we only got 2, so I'm like, what the hell is going on with that? So
go knock on the door. Hey, motherfucker, where's the other 6?
Exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't actually gone as far as to start knocking on their door. To say, you got any 2 packs in there?
I don't know exactly where they are, but I'm about to find out. After this, I'm gonna look them up now. I need to.
They are Area 51.
They are.
Well, actually saying that we've something like that. Actually, from what I can tell, but I can't actually tell because they won't disclose the location, but we have the biggest medical marijuana farms in Europe here in England. And they did a drone shot of it, of the above of it, for the news. There was another, I think it was they were trying to get some kid in Ireland was in desperate need of it, and they're trying to get it legalized, you know, or something like that. Anyway, it made news. Of course, they wouldn't disclose the location. No. But you know, they did show an aerial drone footage of it, and yeah, they just said, you know, it's here, and it's like they gave a radius, but yeah, obviously it is. I can imagine NECA's warehouse being like Area 51.
Yeah,
you know, just disguised, you know, just disguised as some ordinary warehouse, and just nothing, you know, you need fucking to go underground in this way and that way, and it's behind some other shit. But yeah, no, the Casey Jones and Raf 2, like, man, Facebook lit up for about a month of stories of people's trials and tribulations trying to get that set. Scalpers just coming straight in, store clerks who actually work for this, cottoning on to the fact that these were hot, keeping them back so they could flog them on eBay, and also like the NECA ambassadors just not even bothering putting stuff out and just left the box behind in the warehouse, but as they come in from like FedEx, and just left them there. And so they had the story, they were just never put out, and I heard it all. Every story you can think of, I saw it all, and it just blew my mind. And yet there's us with our pre-orders already ready in, because we won't get them in stores. We don't have any stores. I know, we like little independent comic shops, if there are any still around, and the Forbidden Planets. And the Forbidden Planets always mark everything up high. It's literally the only place that will sell NECA. Like one of my co-hosts, the Turtle Boy 83, he lives down by the seafront in Brighton, and he found in his local town an independent comic shop, and he just sent a picture to me today of actually, I'll bring it up on the messenger because it's quite cool. They're a bit pricier because they're an independent store, but they had, you know, quite a bit of the NECA stuff. But to give you an idea of what kind of stuff that we get, so let me kill this for a second. Let me go here because this is just a messenger chat. Come on now. So yeah, Pietro's chat. Let's go. He sent it to me in messenger. Come on, load, you bitch. This is new internet. For some reason it ain't loading. Let's just go to it on the phone and show you in a picture. Do a lot quicker. So here we go. Right. So let me stop sharing because that's taking forever to load. But yeah, so if you can see in that image, it's a bit blurry, but here they have the 4 individual turtles and then the KC2 pack, just in a nice little detov. And that's the Back to the Future Toon stuff. And yeah, so when it seems out, but yeah, just kind of just little store like that with a few bits and pieces of everything, really. And you know, that'll probably be all they ever have of that, you know. So that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So a lot of our shit is purely online. So we get to, the only competition we have is how quick can we get to it before it all sells out. But everything's pretty sweet for us over here. We've said to Zack before, for some reason, you know, for like the last 2 to 3 years, never being able to get anything because NECA would not ship over here, to now we're getting it a lot better than you guys over there. And it just still blows my mind how it's just flipped like that. It really has. Yeah,
and you know, it's funny that you say that because for the Rock Soldier 2-pack, I actually did order one from overseas. So I ordered it from Pop Culture in Australia.
Yeah.
Somebody posted that they've got their pre-order up. So I was like, really? So it does, their markup for them, for their price of figures, is more than us here in the US. So I did pay more. I basically paid scalper prices. But this is the thing, is that I'm okay by going through a store and paying their price because that's their markup in their country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm giving it to somebody that went to the store with the intent of selling it for double the price.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so I mean, I am getting it for more than what I could get it if I could find it here. But again, I'm getting it for me, the collector, and I, you know, because I want it, and 2, it's not going to a scalper. It's going to a business that's keeping afloat during all of this right now. So
Sure.
I have no problem paying that extra right now,
No.
So I mean, I've already got it now. Grant, with the what was it? The Super Shredder. I ordered it from them too, but they canceled it because NECA wouldn't send them the Super Shredder for some reason. So I ended up getting the Super Shredder anyways. When they put it up on their site, the NECA official site, whatever, I got one there, and then I got one in store too. So I got lucky. I got one for me. I got one for my son.
That's good.
So
yeah.
But so far, I haven't gotten any emails yet that they're canceling the Rock Soldier 2-pack, and I pray that they don't.
Yeah.
But, but going overseas, I think is going to be the way that it's going to have to be for me now, just because I don't have that time to go to the store every day, 2-3 times a day, just looking for it. So
I can imagine the hunt is just with having to deal with people like you said in your story. It just can be stressful when it should be quite fun. Obviously the success a successful hunt, is obviously rewarding, but the bullshit of having to initiate the hunt itself can be, I can imagine, an absolute pain in the ass. But yeah, that's why I encourage. Oh, let me just come back out of that. I encourage any. Really, that if you're struggling with the hunt, or if you're in an area where it looks a bit bleak and it'll be ages before you see them in your stores, and you're okay paying a little bit more, but having a guarantee that you will get it, and okay with waiting a little bit longer, then I'd suggest, go with like one of our international UK stores that would most all ship worldwide.
right.
We just get everything a little bit later on. Like we only just recently got our UK stock of the KC 2-pack, which 2 came through. These are the only 2 I was going to get, and then NECA put them up on their store, and I wanted to test to see if I'd get it sooner, so I did, and now I have 3. It's cool. I'll keep one boxed, and I'll use the other one to do the whole unmasking custom place thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just crazy, man. I mean, because I know a lot of what cracks me up is that a lot of people, even though NECA made it 100% clear that the Token Raza was a NECA store exclusive, so many people here in the UK groups were like, so when's the international stores going to be getting this in? They started messaging all our UK online. So when are you going to get these in? And it was like, fuck. So so they were really just, they didn't get it. They didn't get it at all. And it's kind of like, no, dude, you have to go through them. They ship international. It would actually be cheaper through them, because the UK stores, if something is like, say, $49.99, UK stores will put it up at £49.99. They won't take into consideration the exchange rate, but it would actually be cheaper. It would just actually be more expensive, and then you've got your shipping on top. So overall, with shipping and 0 customs charge for us, this actually works out to be cheaper to buy it from them direct. And then so a load of people were complaining to NECA directly and DMs that, oh, why aren't you making these international and this, that, and the other, and all going off on one, I can't buy this now, I don't have the money. And we're all just laughing at them. It was like, well, you should have read the ad. Yeah. And then NECA said there may be a chance that international market might get them in. I was like, oh, well, you just fucking killed all our argument then, didn't you, you bastard? All that screaming and pissing and moaning actually works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's quite mad. So it's really, really strange. But I guess, with everything being cancelled now, like in terms of conventions and shit, New York Comic Con's not happening. But these digital versions of them where they're doing reveals, Hasbro Pulse just did their one. So it'll be interesting to see what does get revealed at this New Jersey one. What is it you guys would like to see that you haven't seen yet? April would be good. Looking forward to her journey.
Yeah, I think that they are going to do like some sort of reveal of like a prototype sculpt being done for April. They're definitely going to reveal that. I think that the ultimate bomb drop, though, is if they showed a Tatsu, though. I would love to get me a Tatsu.
Yeah, yes.
That would be amazing. So,
have you guys ever thought about, like, what if they did movie concept stuff, like take comic or the cartoon characters, but if they did like movie concept versions of the characters?
Hey, at this point, I would take anything that they put out.
Yeah.
I mean, who the
They
hell
don't have
was
to fight
expecting
licensing.
Yeah.
What's that?
They wouldn't have to fight any licensing rights, would they? If it was like their own concept, or
No, I think so. Yeah, exactly. Like they've done their own concept Predator, right? So it depends if they can do it with Playmates, just their own versions. Hell, even that the UK like British Telecom advert with Donatello in it randomly that's now become really popular. Do a figure of that. I don't care. I'd still have it. The Mutagen tour, I'm okay with because that scared the crap out of me, and I'm all right with that. But I mean, stuff like the apparently like the secret of the ooze, which is something they actually didn't explore in the movie, was which I heard from like a fan theory, and there's some speculation going on some blogs and shit, was that Professor Jordan Perry was meant to be Krang or one of Krang's species.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that's why you see him after in the nightclub when he picks up the mutagen canister and just runs away with it. You don't see him again in the movie. And apparently there was meant to be a scene in that movie where he lifts up his shirt and you've got a Krang, because I think in the comics there was like a whole clan of them.
What?
Yeah. And yeah. So it's like, yeah, because obviously we know Toka and Razo were meant to be stands for Bebop and Rocksteady, but yeah, that was kind of meant to be the secret of the use. Like they were there for that. And yeah, and it was like alien in origin. So yeah, to sort of mirror what they were doing in the comics. And I think then part 3 would have been a completely different ballgame. That would have been awesome if they'd gone down that road.
I mean, do you think they would announce some more movie stuff from a different movie? I hope not.
I would not say no.
Are you talking number 3?
I would not say no.
I hope not.
Hey, you know what? Hey, I mean, they put out that Mutagen tour. I mean, Turtles, and I mean, I guess, but I mean, if they put out some Turtles with some samurai armor, I'd be all in.
Yeah, that's true.
Just
I'm just saying, like the movie might not have been great, but the figures could be. You know, so.
And I've said before, but I say again as well, I want the opposites, where I want the actual samurais in Casey Jones's hockey gear and a leather jacket. So I just want some samurai-looking dudes in casual 90s.
Oh, I'm thinking of just like the regular look, because they looked awful in the third movie. Not the samurai armor would be legit, but they looked awful without it.
Well, they look like the Mutagen tour. The Mutagen tour looks like number 3, but on crack cocaine.
Exactly.
They're angry eyes. You know, just same bodies, just the face. You know, just look like frogs, is what Pietro said. They look like frogs rather than turtles. You know, so I agree. Though actual just regular turtles of them, no, thank you. But in samurai armor, yes, all day, please. Thank you very much. I did. What was it? Who told me that in regards to Tatsu, apparently. Who was it I spoke to? I think it was when I did last stream when I had the Super Shredder Dio guys on. Apparently they are having a hard time trying to find the actor who plays Tatsu. Because apparently, because he's an actual swordsman, he's actually gone off to like a monastery and, you know, like a monk would, you know, and just dedicate himself to his art, you know, to his studies in martial arts. So, and I was sort of saying, what, he doesn't have a cell phone, really, just to see how his mum's doing. You know, just, you know, hey mum, NECA want an action figure of me. Should I do it? Hold on, you know, and like his masters are telling him to be quiet, and it's like, what, outside? Fuck off. Just some shit. You know, I have a cell phone on me just so he can call my mum. You know, even if you are just dedicated to your swordsmanship. So yeah, I don't know, but if I. Who knows with Tatsu would be great.
Tatsu would be great. And you know what? I wouldn't mind Kino either. Kino would be awesome to have.
With Ernie Reyes Jr. being as active with Judith Hogue on Zoom chats as he is, there must be some talk. I think Ernie Reyes Jr. is coming in.
Yeah, there has to be.
I said last week on the stream what I found great about her little Zoom chat with Ernie Reyes and the stunt guy who played Raph was just that he was just sitting there skinning up a joint as they're talking, and that's just fucking yeah, just sitting there rolling, and it'd be like just like, dude, you're a fucking world-class martial artist teaching still, and it's just what now.
Yeah,
fucking legend. But yeah, give me some Ernie Reyes, that'd be great. But I mean, I'd love, even if they did, you know, like what I did with tribute stuff to like who is it? They did an Alien Marine of James Cameron and some other guy.
Yeah,
I think it'd be great if they did some turtle tributes to, like, you know, have head sculpts of the stunt guys inside the suits. I don't know.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Which you
That
can
would-
have.
that would be
Well,
really
Ernie
cool.
Reyes was one, wasn't he? He was Donnie in the #1.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be awesome. I wouldn't mind that either.
Yeah, like Ken Scott and shit. That would be really cool.
And you know, they could easily do that, like that accessory pack that they already did. You know what I mean? Just the actor's head in a separate box.
Seriously, still surprised they actually decided to just go with heads rather than re-release the Turtles again, because that would have been just the annoying go-to play just to make all the money, you know. Just like, we're going to give them to you again, but you've got to buy them all again with these. But no, they were like, here, have the heads. You want to know how to take the heads on and off? Well, you better go and learn.
Right. Yep.
We, like, in our hobby.
I'm glad they went that route, because I didn't. I have 2 of the San Diego Comic-Con turtle boxes. The one that looks like a giant, VHS tape. I have 2 of those. I didn't get the GameStop ones just because I don't want to get multiples of the same figure over and over again. So when they announced that they're just putting out that heads and accessory set, perfect move for me. I was so glad. I was like, damn, otherwise I'm gonna have to have another set. So
and now, like with the 2 packs, which everyone's becoming, because there's new collectors coming in all the time. So I guess you see them, like, they'll be their first time buying Turtles, so they wouldn't have got the ones beforehand.
Right.
And the 2 packs are still really elusive now. Hopefully they're getting pre-ordered as well. I've seen on Randy, they're eventually going to be on pre-order probably next year, the 2 packs of the Turtles with the double bandanas. But the double bandanas that either side, they're coming with the alternate heads in the accessory pack anyway. So I only got here is the San Diego Comic-Con VHS set here, and obviously because I use them for photography, they're getting a bit worn, they're getting a bit loose, and I want a second set so I can keep a set on display and then abuse another set. So I was waiting for those 2 packs to get released over here, but a lot of our sites have said no, we've still got a bunch of single carded, so we don't know when we'll ever see those. I was like, fucking great. So I got to wait ages then. So hopefully I can get them on a. Now, if the double bandanas are coming with the head sculpts, then I can just get another set of the singles and just be done with it. I might have to worry about it. But yeah, so it's a bit wild right now with stock. I'm hoping we do get to have a look at the Shredder Splinter box set. This is what made me think that we were going to get a whole new range of figures again with the head sculptures, because they're putting them out as 2 packs now, but they're including accessories we've never had before in those 2 packs. So it's making you kind of want to buy the whole set again. So like which Randy confirmed, apparently that Shredder Splinter 2 pack will come with that pizza slapped on Splinter's head.
Oh man!
When he's chopping up the pizza, I'm like, that's the greatest accessory ever. You couldn't put that in the pack.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that everyone can have the weapons rack that came with the 2019 box set that's in the 2 pack Foot Soldier now. The Army Builder is a great idea. That just keep going with that. But yeah, it's just that's what made me think that they were going to just throw out the Turtles one more time with the new heads. But I mean, I guarantee you they'll probably do a set for Secret to Use because they look a bit different, a little bit of a different color scheme. Bandanas are a lot brighter. The greens are a little bit more muddied, and the heads are all different on those anyway. So I would get those because they're part of part 2. I'd have a different display, so I can make room for them.
Right.
But yeah.
Now you're making me rethink my whole self, and now I'm gonna have to get those 2 now.
I know, dude, this is a thing. This is it. Like when they announced Hiroku Saki and Samada Yoshi. Cool, it's a very deep pull from the film, but I had no intentions of putting them in my display. I had no thought about it. Now I've got to figure out where they're going to go, and so yeah, I know it just kind of makes you want everything, doesn't it? I mean, I don't think there's anything I could pass up on yet. Basically, apart from the Mutagen Tour stuff, the accessories are cool. I'll just buy it for the accessories. But yeah, like, are you collecting the Loot Crate stuff as well, Jesse?
No, I haven't gone the Loot Crate route.
No.
I don't think I'm going to. I want to tell myself I'm not going to, but I might just end up doing it because what was their first one? It was the
Spirit Splinter.
Like Bebop, like in the bunny suit or something like that?
The first one was the Spirit Splinter from the movie.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, yeah. I didn't get it, but I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with just the regular.
I don't want to
Yeah.
push you further into that area of feeling like shit. I wish I'd got them now. So I won't talk
Peer
about
pressure.
it. Yeah.
Do it.
You know what? I'm already there. Like I'm like right on the cusp of that, man. Like, cause I'm like, how can I be a turtle fan if I don't go every avenue that's available?
You call yourself a fan?
They're going to judge you. You know this.
I know. Like, I'm looking at my display and I'm like, damn, I've got 12 foot soldiers up there, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I do need, maybe another 10, 15 more soldiers.
It's a blue slip. No one's going to notice. It's fine. It's just a recycled fire pit. It's nothing. You get, there's marshmallows. Who needs marshmallows?
Right.
Until the wife says, "What's this charge for $475 on the bank account?"
Nothing.
Yeah.
I bought you a gift.
Luckily, I've been pretty lucky in that aspect that my wife, like, she's like, whatever you get, just whatever. She doesn't care. So
that's good.
Yeah, I have so many things on pre-order right now. It's ridiculous. So
mate, it's the list is like that. I mean, I'm a single Pringle, but at the same time, I know a lot of people in the game obviously are spoken for, their partners, married, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It's just, I always wonder how many are like 100% cool with it, 100% indulge themselves in it as well, and the other half just roll their eyes, and the other half are getting divorced. I just want to know that ratio.
I gotta stop you right there. I think my biggest thing is when I look online and people say, "Oh, my wife got me this for our anniversary." I'm like, no, she didn't. You bought that for yourself and then just wanted to make a sweet post. I don't buy that shit for a minute.
No. Yeah. I agree, because it's like, it's too good to be true.
My wife bought me a $5 Black Series Death Trooper from Ollie's for my anniversary one year. That's as far as
I will say this. When I first met my wife, I wasn't into collecting, into customs, into toy photography. I wasn't into any of that stuff. So this kind of came out of left field for her, because I've always got like different hobbies that I'm into. Motorcycles, cars, everything that I would do. So when I jumped, like, a big part of, my childhood and everything was toys and loving Marvel and loving Ninja Turtles and, everything 80s. So forever, I just wasn't into, toys because girls came around. So I got out of it. But then I looked into customs one day, and then from customs went into, well, what are companies making? Because I stopped paying attention to what was coming out and everything. And then I ended up getting the Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man, and it was all downhill from there. I was back in the game. I was not collecting, and then going from Marvel Legends to I remember telling Ben years ago, like, he asked me like, "Oh, what do you think about imports?" And I'm like, "Fuck imports. What about imports? I don't give a shit about imports. It's all about Marvel Legends and what we have here. I don't need anything else." And then I can't remember what my first import was, but I got it, and it ended up being the biggest mistake of my life, because I have so many imports now.
I kind of feel bad for asking you that
it's
question.
A slippery slope.
I remember it.
Ben's such a bad influence too.
No.
Yeah, you are. I wouldn't have got that damn Playmobil DeLorean if it wasn't for you.
I remember that so well. I do remember that conversation when I asked you, like, "No, I don't dabble with imports." Yeah, up here. And I'm like, "Really? Yeah. They're really good. They're really good." And you're like, "No." And then I saw you got one. I was like, "Ha! Gotcha. He's in now." Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. So, but I will say this though, back to the wife thing though. My wife is the only one that's found the NECA cartoon turtles. I've never found them in stores. My wife's been lucky. She got me she got me all the all 4 turtles. She got me the foot soldiers, the Krang and Shredder, and the Bebop and Rocksteady. She just brought them all.
Fuck.
Dropped them on my desk. Like, "These are for you." And I was like, no shit. So
damn.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
My wife's thing is, if it gets paid off, fuck it. If it's free, go ahead. But if you're like spending this money on it, I don't want it in my damn house. Or if it's my PayPal money, you're good. But if it's from my check, no.
Well, I would say that's a keeper and you should marry her. But obviously, if you are married, I'd say that's more of a keeper and renew your vows because that's just fucking solid right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly go through
all the kids. So.
Yeah, man. I'll quickly go through some chat and then I want to get into your origin story, Jesse. So I'm going to get some chat here. This is the point where Zack just stopped replying. So going back to the Mayfetch conversation, Neil Robertson says Cable, Rebel Tech looks good. Yeah, he does. Maverick 5 UK says I'm big into amazing Yamaguchi line. Again, I think they did an Archangel would be crazy. Those the wings on an Archangel Rebel Tech would be nuts. It would be awesome. Who's on the upcoming line? I think Cable, so far as I know. Actually, we'll get into your latest purchase, Jesse, because that was Rebel Tech too, which I saw. Neil Robinson fixed the claws on the brown suit version too. By the look of it, yes, they did. They're nice and curved. Maverick, wow, Daredevil, can you imagine the poses? Yes, the poses would be crazy. Turtle Boy, we hope for something new on the convention for New Jersey convention. Yes, we do. Cartoon Splinter and Baxter need those three. Turtle Boy, luckily we don't have that in Europe. Yeah, but it would be fun sometimes if that kind of wish we did have the hunt. The hunt would be good if we had it here. You know, it would be very polite, and then we'd just be like, oh, you're here for NECA? Well, go away. It's my turn.
Get the fuck out, please.
Yeah. Oh, you want a duel, dear? Yes. No,
you have to fence me for it.
I'll write an angry worded letter to your manager. Or he'll be like Vinnie Jones, you fucking get out of my way, yeah? Fuck off and all that shit.
You fucking wanker.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'll be like Butcher from The Boys, just him, you cunt. Yeah. Was it? Good night, everyone. TMNT configuration in the hizzy. Sorry, mate, just getting to you now. Still can't get my head around why shipping is cheaper to US in the UK from NECA store than it is. Why shipping from the NECA store to here in the UK is cheaper than domestically is nuts. Why the shipping from an American company to American addresses is 10 times more than it is international. I can't get my head around that one at all. Equilibrium DX. Yeah, we're going to get the next mutation. Oh, fuck off! Okay, that's another line of NECA I don't want. If they do it, the next mutation stuff can.
Yeah, I'm good without that.
Yeah,
I got past that too.
No, my turtles don't need a girlfriend. All right, Venus, piss off.
Yeah, my turtles don't need a do-rag mask either. I'm not.
You don't want some turtle titties, dude?
I love it.
Even in the comics, there's is her name like Janika or something like that? There's a turtle girl in the comic books now, and I'm like, that's not my turtles. There's all.
That's what caused the split between Usman and Laird, was the fact that one went for a girl. It's like, no, fuck it, you can have my half. I ain't dealing with that shit. If the toys that what was it? The Toys That Made Us documentary was correct in that, then yeah, that was great. But yeah, I still need to catch up with the Last Ronin though. Right, what else we got here? They called us. They were called Ultrons. The Krang species in the comics. There was quite a few of them. It was originally considered that Professor Perry was going to be an Ultron, but since that time, many would be confused him as Krang, which is the reason why they scrapped the idea. Yeah, if they'd done that, everyone would have thought it was Krang when it wasn't. It was just another species, same of the species, but different name.
Right.
Watch the 2003 series. They're pretty much as faithful to the comics. Yeah. Oh, I would love to see some 2007 animated, the movie. The animated 2007 movie that was loosely tied in. I wouldn't mind seeing some stuff in that. Spirit Splinter, shame on you. Yes, you're getting shamed in the comments for not getting Spirit Splinter, Jesse. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, a friend of mine chimed in.
I can always pick him up for $200 now. So
yeah, it's nothing. Don't worry, pennies.
Yeah.
Oh dear. So speaking of which, Mr. Jesse Slate said, what I love doing origin stories. I love hearing people's backstories, how they got into it. So what got you into collecting and then ultimately customizing? And just tell us your journey from start.
Well, it started with custom. Yeah, it started with customs before collecting.
Oh.
And it's really weird how that happened because I remember it distinctly. Actually, I was at my friend's house and we were watching UFC fighting, and it was in between fights, and they were just talking about who's been training in the longest and blah 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 blah. And I just had this thought of, oh man, I wonder if people are still making custom figures, because back in the day, I don't know if you remember Wizard magazine.
Yeah.
But there used to be a 2-page. Yeah, there was a 2-page section in that magazine where they would display and show customs that people would make.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And so this was back in 2014, and I was just like, I wonder if people are still making customs. So I got on my phone, I went on Google, and I just typed in custom action figure, and the first thing that popped up was this insanely badass Wolverine. And I didn't know who made it or anything. It was just a picture, and I knew it wasn't something that was in a store. Like it didn't look like a store-bought figure. It looked too damn good. And I looked into it a little bit more, and then zoomed in on the picture, and I could see the watermark for who made it, and it was this guy called Loose Collector.
Oh, right.
So, if you're in the toy community or you look at customs, everybody knows who this guy is.
Yeah.
He makes the absolute most beautiful customs, and his sculpt work, his paint work, everything is just insane. And so I looked into him more, and I ended up finding his webpage, and just looking through his list and pictures of everything that he's made, and it blew my mind. And it just intrigued me to like, hey, I wonder if I could do this, But the sad thing about his page is that he doesn't show like, well, I think he does now actually. He shows, but back then he didn't show like the materials he used, any tips or tricks. He didn't have any of that stuff. It was just, here, look what I made. It's awesome, and it was. So I started looking into it more. And I went to YouTube and I started looking up custom action figures. And the first person that popped up was Glenn Webb, rest in peace. And how his stuff, what he would use. And, he would use a epoxy clay called Milliput. And then, he would just show the basics, just him spreading out the clay with the toothpick. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah. That's awesome. And then through Glenn Webb, I found Craig Wark. And then, another all-time amazing customer.
Stuff is amazing.
Yes, he absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He's just so phenomenal. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. And I went and told my wife, and I was like, hey, I think I'm going to try making custom action figures. And she just looked over, because up till this point, like, I wasn't collecting. I wasn't into toys, like back into it yet and everything. She just looked at me like, okay, dude, like, really? And I'm like, yeah, why not? She's like, but my wife has always been just really cool and supportive. She's like, whatever you want to do, just do it, and I'm like, okay. So I started, I went in kind of, I want to say, not knowing the ropes. I kind of just dove head in, and I was buying expensive figures first. And and just practicing just right off the bat on like really expensive figures, which was a mistake. But I ended up totally screwing up this one figure that I was working on, which was my first custom was a Venom, but I used a Soda Street Fighter Birdie.
Okay.
And it's the very first picture on my Instagram. So if you go to my Instagram, it's literally the very first picture on there.
Oh, we might have to do that.
But yeah, it took me 6 months to do, and it was excruciating because I tell everybody now, like, if you want to be a customizer and you want to get good at sculpting, sculpt the Venom, because that character, just in his face alone, is unforgiving. I mean, if you can't get the shape down just right, it's not going to look right. He's one of those characters that he's got so much characteristic just in his face alone that you need to pinpoint every minute detail in it. So if you can, want to get into customs and you want to, practice your sculpting, start with a Venom. It is very hard though, but it will teach you everything that you need to know when it comes to sculpting. And this one right here, actually, I redid it over, but underneath this one was the first Venom that I actually made.
Wow. I'm actually looking at that right now.
Yeah, that's really beginning sculpt work there too. Like, I guess it's okay. I look at it now and I'm like, ugh. But it's it all started with that one custom, and it kind of went from there.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't mean to get into collecting, but like I said, I bought a Marvel Legends Pizza Spidey, and it just was downhill. So it started at sculpting, and then I made the Venom, and I was like, well, I can't have Venom without Spider-Man, so that's why I bought that Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man, just so I could put it with the custom Venom. And then
that's it.
Once I had that Pizza Spider-Man open, I was just like, oh my God, this figure is freaking awesome. Like, holy shit. Because before then, I was a kid with my toys, and it was just the 5 points of articulation, the old school Toy Biz, or who was it? Was it Mattel back then? Or I don't even know. But it was just 5 points of articulation, arm up and down, leg up and down. But Hasbro Legend, I was just like, holy shit, super articulated. I was like, wow, this thing is amazing. And then it just went from there. It was just everything Marvel Legends at that point, because that's all I was getting, was just Marvel Legends. And then a few years after getting Marvel Legends, I finally broke into NECA with like a Godzilla figure and Gods of War, whatever his name is. And I was like, okay, these are cool, but I stayed away from NECA for the longest time because the older NECA figures didn't have that great articulation, and the quality control issues were really bad. So, yeah, and then it just kind of, once 2015 came in, that's when I was just like, anything that came out, I was buying it. I bought every single wave. I hunted like damn near like week on week. I was just hunting and just getting everything. And like I'm looking around now, like I'm looking at my room, like everything I have, and it's wow, it's kind of nuts. It's gone out.
A long way, man.
What's that?
Yeah, you've come a long way. You've come a long way, I think, from the days of just the Pizza Spidey to now look around you. But that's the thing, as soon as you start, the justification voices in your head begin. It's like, well, if I have Venom, he's going to need Spider-Man with him. So let me get Spider-Man. Well, if I have Spider-Man, well, he has lots of villains. Let's go and find some other. The justification voices just start coming in, and that's it. Then you're in the rabbit hole. And I feel you.
That's exactly how it was.
Yeah.
And and then when we ended up moving, and I told my wife, I was like, all right, well, no matter where we go, I was like, I need my own space. And like I said, my wife's chill. She's like, yeah, whatever you want. And I'm like, okay, well, there you go. Now I have all the space I need to put whatever the hell I want in here, So I'm like, okay, but now sadly I'm running out of space, and now we need to move again so I can get more space to get more shit. So,
I was going to ask you what the real estate space was like in your room. Like, do you have much left to carry on? I mean,
I do have one corner left, which I'm saving. The wall, it's the only wall left in my workroom right now that I don't have anything on, because I'm gonna do it for just the toy photographers. I want a whole wall of just toy photography on my wall. I do have a couple shots from Nose Rain. I would like to get a couple prints from you, Ben.
I ain't
the stuff.
I appreciate it. Nose Rain stuff is incredible. Absolutely.
I'm just getting
confused with.
Yeah,
for sure, man. I'll happily ask him. But that's.
So it'd be cool just to have just what we do, toy photography and everything. Just get it up on one wall, and then after that, like that's really it. I just gotta mount a TV in here, and then I never have to leave this room again. Maybe put a little mini fridge in here, and I'll be good to go. Yeah, I get six. It's gotten to the point where it's like, it started out, I was like, oh, I just need a desk and I'm good to go. But then as I'm seeing, like, I don't know whose setup it was, but I was like, oh, wow, their displays, like the way they did it ended up being really cool. And now it's kind of become an obsession. Like all this behind me, like it looks pretty cool. It like, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. I like it. I like the way my room is looking, but it's all very meticulous. Like that picture had to be right there. There's ones that you can't see right here that had to be there. And like, it's all very well thought out, you know? So eventually, like I wanted to look like I don't know if I wanted to look like an old 80s arcade, but like something like that, you know what I mean? Like those old nostalgic, you go into an arcade, like it looks something like that. So like neon everywhere. I wanted just
you gotta get some hot pink and blue going on in there. And...
You know what? I don't know if I could turn my camera around, but let me see if I could do this. That way I could show you like my detox and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So this got destroyed up here because I ended up moving everything over there for the Ninja Turtle stuff.
Shit.
But yeah, so yeah, I got the good guys on the blue lights. So here's the Star Wars, my Spider-Mans.
I got a hot toy.
Dude, I haven't even gone into the Hot Toys yet. I haven't done Hot Toys, and I'm like scared to. So
holy
shit,
dude.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I mean it's pretty cool. Oh, like Joe's are at the bottom, but they're just starting, so their shows are kind of sad. But my like, oh my God, Mandalorian! Don't even get me started. That's my show right now.
Oh, damn, yeah. They
and
just
then
released the chick, haven't they? The female, the armorer lady, Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Here's my Ninja Turtle favorite poster of all time. You can't really see it because the window glare, but I
want to get a display of that so bad. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Like messing his pants over here, dude.
Just carry on. Just carry on. Oh damn, yeah. This looks just fucking. You say you're that G.I. Joe stuff's sad. This thing's sad compared to that. I mean, this. That's the thing. What? Oh, I'm gonna stop talking and just look.
And then here's the Super 7 ones that just came in. The Super 7 ones are so. Oh my God, they're amazing. But that's all I have so far. But yeah, it's so. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
TMNT for life. Like if my wife told me like, okay, you got to start getting rid of stuff. Like, what are you gonna get rid of? The turtle stuff is staying. I'll get rid of everything else, but the turtle stuff has got to stay. You know, so
yeah.
And then like I have like this artist right here. I've got like so much work of his.
Damn.
Like he's amazing. He's Eddie Nunez is his name. And so like. Yeah, like this poster right here. This is the most amazing piece ever because it's got everything from our childhood.
Fuck.
Like it's got the Game Boys, the Turtle Pies. Like it's just,
sick.
It's so good. It's so good. It's an amazing piece.
That's amazing.
So, but yeah, everything in here has been well thought out of how I do things. Oh, this is the newest Venom. I'm sculpting right now.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask how that's going. Yeah, see, look, this is what drew me to you, man. Well, actually, it was your. Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
Dude, is that like I don't know if that's based on a comic or is that like concept of like how you want Venom to look?
Yeah, it's actually just straight out of my head, dude. Like when it comes
that shit's dope.
Yeah, when it comes to doing Venom, I never look at any work because I know he's my favorite Marvel character. Yeah. So I don't look at anything. I just kind of go with it because I already know like his, what he looks like.
Yeah.
So I kind of just run with whatever comes in my head, and then I just do it myself.
You got to get your hands on this guy, man.
That's the movie Marvel Legend.
There is one head that I haven't shown Instagram yet. You guys want to see it?
Oh yeah, you're gonna get some exclusive right here, ladies and gentlemen.
We're gonna get an exclusive then. All right, let me show you guys. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty pumped.
Zack's all home alone over here.
About to make me go all full Kevin McAllister over here, dude.
1 second. All right, so this one hasn't been primed or anything yet.
Oh,
fuck.
Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, and it's got a magnetic tongue and everything.
What?
It reminds me of. I mean, I don't know how you felt about the Tom Hardy movie, but I mean, just in look, that reminds me a lot of Riot from the movie, just with that kind of on the head.
Oh yeah. So there you go. You guys
you got all that going. I can't wait to get my hands on what Zack's got in the corner there with the movie Venom, so I can compare it to
dude.
Just because that, I mean, yeah, design wise, I mean, it depends how you feel about just the veins, but they've nailed it in terms of look from the film. I like the look of that.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Is that the new Marvel Legends one?
Yeah, based on the Hardy film.
That looks really good.
That head sculpt is lovely. I do like that.
I like the closed mouth more, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, great figure.
But yeah, nice, man. That looks amazing. So that's what drew me too. When I think we were sculpting, and I think you still are, the Guyver, the massive Guyver.
The Guyver, Guyver unit number 2. That has been a project and a half, man. I mean, every time I do something to this figure, it is 1 step forward, 3 steps back. It's like it's a labor of love because I love the character so much, and because it's such a big. I did it on such a big figure. You can get so much more detail in. You know what I mean? Like I got spoiled for a while because all I was working on was this Guyver. For anybody that's watching that doesn't know, I used the 18-inch super articulated Spider-Man movie 2. It's like the 2003 18-inch Spider-Man.
Big one, I remember.
And I got absolutely spoiled with it because it's so much bigger. I didn't have to like sit there and squint like as I'm sculpting. Everything is just so big. It's nice. So when I went back to 1/12 scale, I was like squinting. I was jacking up my eyes again because everything on this guy has just been just really good. But here, I'll show you a piece. I'll show you this real quick. I brought it out of the archives for you. But getting the details onto this is just so much easier.
Look at that.
I'm not familiar with that. What is that from?
It's from the anime Guyver.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the bad guy from it. What is it? The antagonist, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and this project started in 2015, and it's still a project today. So I mean, like this is my newest problem with it. Right there, it's that break. That's what it holds the entire figure together. But and it's under a loaded spring, so I mean I have to walk away from things sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean like the amount of detail that I'm able to get in on this is like, because it's such a big figure, it's so much funner, working on something that you don't have to squint your eyes with, and you could really just get in there and put whatever you want, add as much detail, everything that you want. Like it's just fun.
Well, you're working on a bigger canvas, aren't you? You've got a bigger canvas. You can add 10 times more detail in, and not having to get it in really, really well. Not having to like literally get under a magnifying glass to get it in.
Exactly.
Or having to sacrifice detail because you can't work that small.
Jesse, you need to make a Venom out of one of those fucking 12-inch Hulks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Go that Craig Warwick route, dude.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of, like, that's one of my other projects actually, is making a Venom Hulk. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, let me show you this one real quick. This one is also just been another labor of love. This one is just that was on the what is this? The Spider Hulk body, the old Toy Biz one.
Dude, that's been on the bench for a while, hasn't it?
It has been, dude. Everything I have has been on the bench forever.
See that's incredible. The detail you got on the teeth with milliput. Now, I mean, not like you. I followed Glenn Webb's milliput tutorials, and I struggled really hard to actually work with milliput quite a bit. But you've nailed it. I still do, but I still go to it because it's a good party. It's just getting used to the the wet and the time of curing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that's sick.
I mean, it's definitely a learning curve, you know, like it really is.
Yeah.
There are, you know, there's people that like using the God, what's it called? Green stuff or something like that, and Aves and everything. But I learned with Milliput because of Line Web, you know. So I mean, I just stick with it. This gray stuff right here, that's actually a different one. That's clay. It's called what is it? Procreate, and that's what allows you to have this like more flexible.
Yeah.
Like see how that's more flexible right there.
Yeah.
Where Milliput, it drives rock hard. I mean, it's absolutely solid. You know. I mean, that's how you get this kind of stuff.
A Procreate I used as well on just a couple of things I was doing that I needed to be flexible. Now that I found really tough to work with, just because it was finding it hard to blend. But again, it's a great
very hard.
Yeah, it's a learning curve. I mean, I personally, if I can get away with it, I will always turn to Super Sculpey, just purely it's a oven baked clay. And luckily, a lot of these figures survive being shoved into an oven. They just get really floppy. But I'll let them cool down and everything stays put. But if I'm doing a separate piece that I'm not sculpting onto something, but if it's one fully 100% sculpt, then I'll use Super Sculpey and then Milliput, either the green or the terracotta, which is what I'm working with currently at the moment.
Okay. Procreate, the one for to make everything flexible, it is ridiculously hard to work with.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it at all. I mean, I use it, I use it because you have to. I mean, for the tendrils on Venom and everything, but I hate using it. It is not easy.
It was really hard to sculpt this. Like, I was coming into like some challenges with the.
So many years of work there, Zach. So many years. The result is beautiful, though, man. Should be proud.
Yeah.
But it's like, do you guys follow Christina Conan on Instagram?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know who she is. Her hair is insane. Like on her custom. And like, I mean, like she makes the figures look real, like they're really wearing makeup. They're putting it on themselves and stuff. Like it's just her hair alone. Yeah. Oh my God, how? I don't understand how she does that.
Puts Marvel Legends sculptors to shame with her head sculpts of what she does with female Marvel Legends characters like Jean and Rogue and all that. It's incredible. But like the biggest fucking head of hair and every tendril is separate and it's all like, how does that not snap and break?
Yeah.
He works with Procreate.
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But it in the beginning, with the whole sculpting and everything, it was very rough. Like I did not start sculpting absolutely perfect. It took time, to get to this to where I'm at now with it.
Yeah.
That first Venom that I showed you, that was actually resculpted again. But I don't know if I have pictures of when I actually finished it the first time. It was god awful. I mean, it looked like his teeth and everything were just jacked. It looked horrible. But I tell everybody, I have a friend that always tells me, oh, I wish I could sculpt like you. I wish I could sculpt like you. It's like start today. You know what I mean? That's all it takes. Just start today and just keep trying, keep going, and you'll build it up over time. It's not something that you're going to get. You know what I mean? Like just right off the bat, you've got to build that muscle memory to your tools and understand like how it's going to work. And you it's something you build over time. Mm-hmm. And if any of you guys want to do it, you can all do it too. There's nothing to it.
Well, so. I got into it because my dad had gotten into when he was going through chemo. He decided to pass the time being at home. He got somehow obsessed with steampunking. And so he was online looking at everything steampunk. And then that led him to sculpting videos of people sculpting steampunk. And then that led him to wanting to pick it up and try it. And just through YouTube tutorials alone, he bought all the kit, he bought all the tools, he bought all the different kinds of different clays. And he was able to sculpt something that was absolutely phenomenal. So 2 weeks of just going ham. He'd fucked up a couple of times. He made a little man on a little brick wall, which was great. And then he made this giant like bust of this like sort of wizard crow person. And I'll just fire it. It's on my Instagram. I think it's on my personal Instagram. But it's awesome. And through him and watching cosplay Chris, dry brushing and improving the paintwork on a multiverse armored Batman was what inspired me to try and customize action figures. So it's like, okay, we've got all the gear here, and he made it so easy, like, oh, I can do that. And then I thought, like, how can I apply sculpting to an action figure and just improve it there? And then I found Glenn Webb, same way as you did. And I think the first thing I did actually sculpt was because I was trying to make his spear staff, because the multiverse line was shit back then from Mattel, and I wanted to make his kryptonite spear, so I ended up sculpting a little detail on it, and I was pretty much in the process of just like kit bashing and then sculpt work. I think the second thing I sculpted was like a gun holster on the leg, and again, that was very, very rough. I was still learning with milliput, and I can't remember what it was actually I fully sculpted. I believe it may have something to do with the Predator extraction team, which I've still yet to finish, but everything else just took over with toy photography. So yeah, it is a massive learning curve, but like you say, it's just there's plenty of videos out there, and once you realize what particular tools or what anything around the house can give a certain texture, and to nail a certain texture, little tricks like that which seem like hours of work, and it does take hours, but to achieve a certain texture can just be like, wow, that's it. It's like, yeah, that is it. And it makes you feel like, fuck, I want that in a museum now. I can, I'm look what I did. I'm a sculptor now. It gives you that kind of level of confidence. And you just want to learn everything and, all the other little tricks you can. And that's the fun of it. As soon as you get that bug of doing it yourself and seeing results that you're happy with and say, I did that.
Yep.
That's a feeling I would never take away from anyone with a commission game. That's why I'll stay out of it. I encourage them to give them a chance themselves just to get that feeling of, I did that,
Right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But that's great, man. You got just what I mean. That's what drew me in, because when I first was starting up, and I followed you, and I was just like, this is the level I want to get at. Is when I saw your stuff with the Guyver and the Venom, and it's great. And I know Guyver's still on the table, and I said to you, I know you can't rush out, and I'll be here for the finished project when you finally do get it done. Absolutely.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right. But yeah, no, exactly. Like, you've seen me come up with toy photography, I'm seeing you come up with toy photography, so we get to just watch each other just grow, and it's been absolutely fucking awesome. And so glad to have you as a friend on this, man. It's absolutely brilliant. But
definitely. So, I can't believe it's been this many years already.
I know, right? It's falling off the calendar. It's been crazy. You just look back and it's like, fuck, was it literally 2016, 17 I started this shit? It doesn't feel like it. It feels like I'm still a newbie.
Exactly. It's crazy. And then from collecting it, well, that's another thing too, is that I didn't know that this entire community existed at all. My wife, she was on Instagram. My wife's been on Instagram forever. And she's like, why don't you post your stuff on Instagram? And I was like, who the fuck is going to want to look at toys? What the fuck are you talking about? I was like, okay, let me go advertise to the world how big of a fucking dork I am. Yeah, let's do that. And and she's like, well, you can make your account private. And I was like, okay, well, then that defeats the purpose of showing off my stuff. Well, if it's private, then nobody can see it, right? She's like, yeah. She's like, well, don't make it private. And I was like, again, grown-ass man displaying toys, I don't think so. And this is before, I knew this whole community existed. And I was like, you know what, fine. So once I finished the first Venom, I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. And I was like, nobody's going to like this. Nobody's going to, want to look at this shit. And I didn't know what hashtags were and all this stuff. And I posted it on. She's like, oh, well, if people like your stuff, she's explaining to me how Instagram works. Because I don't do Facebook. I've never liked Facebook. I don't like using Facebook and all that. So she's explaining to me like, it's not like Facebook, and all you have to do is just post a picture and that's it. There's like no rules and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, and then if people like it, they follow you. And I was like, okay. And I was like, how much am I gonna be paying for, people to follow me? And so she's like, oh no, this is all free and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, I was thinking to myself, like, when I first posted the picture, I was like, man, I'm going to be lucky if I get 10 followers. Like, it'll be amazing. Like I said, if I get 10 people to follow me, it's going to blow my mind. Like, it was crazy. And then, out of nowhere, just people were, commenting. And liking, and I was just like, what the fuck? And then from there, like, I started looking into it more, and then I found this entire community of just awesome fucking people. You know what I mean? It's like toy photography, customizers, diorama makers. Like, it just blew my mind, like how big this community actually is. Just the you know, the collectors, and it's nuts.
Just
And
different avenues, and like as a whole, the hobby as a whole, we started as, you know, well, apart from yourself, you were customizer, but you know, for majority, I can say there probably, you know, there's a lot more collectors out there as just collectors, but you know, the different branches that can flow from the collector in this hobby, like customizing, like diorama making, like toy photography, and and people can just sit back and admire all those people doing it, and then kind of feel like, oh, I want to kind of do that. I want to do a diorama to make my display a bit better. People then get better into posing to make their display better, and then say, what if I put a camera on this? And then all of a sudden they're toy photography now, and it's just one little thing can then put you into this different field, and each one has its own pocket of communities in this big community, and it's crazy, but we're all like in it together. You know, I know a ton of collectors that admire this shit, won't touch it. Those who are just strict dior makers, that, you know, they don't do toy photography, the ones that are customizers that do this, and it's just so many different people and they're in, you know, different areas, but they love every single aspect of it. You know? Every aspect of it's got its own community. Like, the reason why I just pulled this down, because I just remembered what the first thing I fully sort of sculpted. Again, it was on top of a body, but I remembered enough. My fucking shelf decided to fall down. It was the Robin suit from.
Oh yeah.
So this was on a basic Batman BVS figure because it had a similar belt, and then I basically just covered the whole thing in milliput, tried to get the texture in of his suit, and sculpted the buckles, running down, had to do that, and then this was fully just 100% sculpt on a bit of wire, which was 10 times bigger than what, you know, the figure was, but you know, just and I had it floating on a base that I made.
That is very cool, man.
Thank you, mate. Very cool. So I was obsessed with this. I mean, personally, the film was a bit lackluster for me, disappointingly, but I was obsessed with Batman in it, and the style and the look, and you know, the way they made him, the armored version, the regular suit, the Robin. I wanted more of that, so that's why I kind of just went ham on the Batman side of things, and that's kind of what got me into the customizing side. And like you, with collecting side of it, it was the NECA Predators that got me back into it, and the same thing again. I just wanted one of each, the Predator and Arnie, and then I started realizing, well, they did this kind of Arnie and this kind of Predator. Well, you know, if I have this, I've got to have that one, and then this, and then all the justifying voices kicked in for me, and all of a sudden I'm fucking knee deep in NECA, and I promised myself I wouldn't do the same thing with Marvel Legends, and then that went downhill as well. Yeah, so it's all a bit crazy, man. But yeah, man, it's a great thing with this whole community. It's like this now, you know, relationships that you can build, the friendships you can build. Like for instance, Tom, you know, is one of my best mates in this community, and I've still never met the guy in person. Like you guys here, you know, they're some of the coolest dudes I've ever met, and it's like this is why I like doing this, because it's a whole different. It's different than I love chopping up with you in DMs, but you know, to actually have even if it's digital, a face-to-face convo, and just you know. It's just it's almost as good as, you know, chatting to you in real life. So apart from I just can't clink you with a drink or shake your hand.
Exactly. I love this, and thank you again for inviting me to this.
Hell
this
yeah,
really cool.
Absolutely. So, yeah, just sort of, you know, just gets to know the people you've been rocking with for so long a bit better, and you know, just get to vibe them and hang out, man. Just fucking kick back and just shoot the shit and talk some shit and have a laugh.
Sorry, Zach, you're over there petting a dog. I thought you picked up like a Hot Toys Wookiee and were stroking it over.
This is my Chewbacca.
Also, I do. I was like, the security's dog in the car, and I'm kind of in sort of speech right now, and I kind of like, stop distracting me with this cuteness, man. It's fucking adorable.
I couldn't tell it was a dog at first. I just saw you pick up everything and you were just stroking it. I was like, dude, is he jerking off a Wookiee right now? I was like, what is going on?
Hold up, there's a quarter scale cousin It from Adam's Family. Where did you get that from?
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Oh,
I can sit there like Dr. Evil, like, yes, continue.
Come, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Oh my god, that was funny.
I was about to say, how did you like with having a pet, like obviously unfortunately my dogs that I used to have unfortunately passed away before I got back into all this stuff. But I can imagine now that if I had a dog just run up and just shit would be all over the gas. So Zach, how do you manage having a dog? I guess it's all high off the ground enough for it to not be a problem.
She's terrified of everything.
Really?
I remember having the NECA Schmiegel, the quarter scale.
Oh shit. Yeah,
and she was absolutely, oh man, she hid from it. She's a scaredy cat, man. Like she puts on a good front, but she's scared of especially if I do like the towards her. She's terrified of everything. Yeah. So, and she doesn't shed at all, so that's also a plus. But yeah, I had everything. I remember I had a little shelf that was really set really low to the floor with my hot toys in it, and she would just go up to them and sniff them until I had an R2D2 that if it touched, like if you touched it, it would turn on. It was over with. It was over with. It was hilarious.
A complete freak out moment. I could probably have.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
That's one line I haven't gotten into, and I'm afraid to get into it. Is Hot Toys.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
slippery slope, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I think that it. What was it? I just saw the Mandalorian one for Hot Toys that they're doing for the Beskar metal one. Oh my god, I'm this close to ordering it.
They're a whole different sort of tax bracket of collecting. I don't know how these people do it when they strictly do nothing but 1/6 scale. I only have two. One of them is a 30-party piece, but I have the Crow, which I managed to get for quite cheap, and a World War II Captain America.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, man, they're great pieces. Even if you just have one, I feel like everybody should have at least one just to see how they like the scale. But yeah, it's a different beast, man, and it is a slope that it's hard to recover from. But they hold their value. So if you ever do want to get out of it, you make bank. I sold all my Hot Toys last year and made over $1,000. So
nice.
And
it was only like 7 or 8 of them, like 6 or 7 maybe. So.
Ain't bad, man. It's kind of like they're just. I agree. They're a whole different beast. Like for just display. I mean, toy photography with a 1/6 scale figure, people do it, and fair play to them. You got to have the room though. But yeah, I mean, that having it on display, you couldn't ask for a better display piece. And you're looking at the mall.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Mall was my first figure, so like I had the SH Figure Arts Mall. That was my very first figure I ever photographed. That's where I got into toy photography. So like this guy right here is like
just
like a level, man. Yeah.
Especially I'm seeing this dude on Facebook all the time, and I see him on Instagram too. He's making the fluorescent tubes for 1/6 scale lightsabers.
Oh yeah, and I want some so bad.
Yeah, I keep seeing that. And it just okay, yeah, just makes you just that alone makes you want to get into hot toy Star Wars.
Yeah.
So, who have you got in your cabinet? Then you got Star-Lord, you got Maul,
Ray. I'm a sucker. Daisy is like my Daisy's my Hollywood crush. So like this right here for me is like when I pulled her out, I was just like, all right, I gotta hide you from the wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, her, and then this Daredevil. I gotta fix the body, but he's actually really cool. It's the Sideshow Daredevil.
Oh, nice.
That is really cool.
Oh yeah, that's good. It kind of looks like I mean, dare I say it, the style that Affleck suit went on.
It does.
With the motorcycle graphic kind of style.
Yeah. It's got a little bit more layers to it, but it definitely does look Affleck style. And then my buddy let me borrow his Mark 50. So like,
yeah. So yeah, the one he made himself, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Shit, I fucked up. I mean,
What's your favorite Hot Toys that you have?
Probably Ray.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Do what?
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, definitely Ray. I just think the likeness is just.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair,
It
right?
is. It looks spot on.
But
That's amazing.
Tony
the Chris
Stark,
Pratt head sculpt for Star-Lord it's insane.
Yeah.
So, I think I've actually sold my favorite Hot Toy. Like if I could go back and buy it again, it would be the Anakin. I had the Hot Toys Anakin. That was a great piece. I really wish I could. And the Jen Urso, that was a really good one too. So
yeah, actually, no, Jen Urso. What else is there from? Did they release many more from Rogue One Hot Toys? They must have done.
No, it was Jim and K2. Those were, I think, the Death Troopers, and those were like the only ones they released. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have like the whole line.
Yeah, I mean, you want to look at head sculpts. I mean, look at what Tony Stark's doing right now. He's giving Venom the eyeball, like proper hard.
I know, like it's crazy to me, man. Like these third-party sculptors. I know we're talking about sculpting, but like to hand sculpt, like the hair on that's like it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
That's just next level stuff right there.
The level of detail you can get when a bigger scale, like what you've done with Jesse with your Guyver. It's just
yeah.
And then Christina Conan will come along and do that to a fucking Marvel legend and blow us all away.
Yeah, like a span of 2 days.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Honestly, we love you, Christina. You ain't seeing this, but you know. But yeah, no, I mean that's the thing. I've got the only one I do want to get an Iron Man of some kind, just because of the amount of shit you can do with an Iron Man of a Hot Toy. I watched Dan Obi on YouTube, and he just collects. He's got all of them, and you know that whole workshop set up with the original 7, and that's what got me really into it. Is seeing what people's man caves were like, and how they got them, and it's just crazy. It's like,
if you ever want to be jealous, look up Alex Ross's man cave in New York.
Really?
It's insane. Look it up, man. Look it up. Show the people, man.
I will. Fucking will, all right? I will. Give me a second. Yeah. Let's dive on it. Going on the journey together. So was it Alex Ross? What? Sorry?
It's his. He's got like a. I don't know if it's his main house or if it's like a studio or whatever. But his man cave is it's insane. I don't know if you can type that in.
I'm just going to put Alex Ross man cave and see what it comes up with without it.
It's probably some porn out there or something. I don't know.
Here we go, gents. Moment of truth. Images.
Oh man, he did like some sort of segment, and it showed off just all of his displays. He's got so many statues, and it's like a shopping mall of detolfs.
Yeah.
Full of stuff. Yeah. I don't see it. I can find it. I don't know if that's it.
Is that the one?
No, that's not it.
Damn. Oh, I got lucky. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you because it's insane, man. It just has some really nice stuff. Alex Ross.
Yeah, because it was bringing up his artwork. Slow ass computer. Yeah. Well, I mean, that alone, I thought was his, is still pretty good. Yeah,
I think if Mezco, if they were to do figures based off of his like artwork, it would be.
Yeah. Now you see, that's what I'm thinking. I would love to see Kingdom Come or Matrix Kingdom Come. Right. It would be. Or because they did a run of his figures. I forget what the other. His annuals, but his artwork is crazy. But any figures based on his artwork, I'll buy in a heartbeat. Kingdom Come especially. So yeah, if Mayfix are going down the route of doing different Batmans from different comics, then give me Long Halloween and Kingdom Come just for DC in general, just all day, every day, and every character from that. But yeah, no, I'll have to look up his. Yeah, if you find it, drop it in.
I'm definitely gonna have to do that.
Yeah.
back to the whole man cave thing. I just came across I want to say like a week or 2 weeks ago, Empire Toy Works. I don't know if you know who that is on Instagram. Yeah, Empire Toy Works, all one word.
Yeah.
But his man cave is the pinnacle for me. Like
Really?
The dude that's got the 3 1/4 inch stuff, right?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. That
Oh,
shit's insane. You look him up, Ben. You're gonna
Empire Toy Works, yeah. Empire Toy Works.
Mm-hmm. Yep, right there.
Talk about wanting to live vicariously through somebody. This is
this is just his dark. Whoa, shit.
Yeah, he's got a shot of just his room. It is insane. It is like the ultimate.
Fuck yeah!
Look at that, dude. And he makes all that shit. It's all his custom ideas.
Go away! I don't know how to get rid of you. That's it.
I love the Spaceballs RV. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
I just love the X-wings on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go like a couple more rows down, he has a zoomed out shot of the actual room itself. He's got a Star Wars side, and then he's got like a
there's a Star Wars. Yeah, there it is.
This one here, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
This is like where you got to sit back and be like, can you imagine if I were single and I had money at the same time?
That is amazing. I'm so jealous of that room.
Mm-hmm.
It is
toy photography for days, man.
Yeah.
Right? Like that would solve all of my issues if I was just able to have everything just out ready to go, not have to set everything back up. Like, oh man, that is so awesome.
It's like he's trying to do a little Iron Man display right here. The work in progress side. That's ridiculous.
You could sit here, Ben, and like you'd spend hours just looking at his page, at all the little details in each of his pictures. And he's added like a bunch of like 40s and like 80s style. I don't know, it looks like really Fallout space station.
Yes. I just found that guy, like, I'm not even kidding, like a week and a half, and I went through everything on his page. It was blowing my mind, like how cool his freaking stuff that he makes is. His dioramas are nuts.
Yeah, I could. So yeah, anyone in chat, I'm going to get to the chat soon, but yeah, go to this Empire Toy Works on Instagram and do what I'm probably going to spend the rest of my evening doing tonight is go through his entire page.
Ben, you got to get him on the show, man.
I spent 2 hours looking at his stuff. It was crazy. Yeah, it was so good.
Oh yeah. I'll reach out. I doubt he'll respond.
That would be sick.
I'll reach out to fucking Margot Robbie if I'll reach out to anyone you like. Anyone you like, yeah, for sure. Oh,
I would love to know how he got started. Like, it's so crazy.
Right.
Before I start rubbing my nipples again,
yeah.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. This dude is living the fucking dream, man.
All right, it's happening. It's happening. Just look away, children. Look away. Oh my god. Yeah, that's insane. All right, yeah.
I'm gonna fucking squirt.
Face, neck, and chest. All right, okay. This like fucking, and I thought Pornhub was good.
That's our porn right there. That's enough for us.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wow. I was like, he's got like I said, it's just the pinnacle of man caves for me. Like I would, that's what I want. That's my goal. You know? But that's crazy.
If I didn't have a lead on my webcam, I'd take it to my piddly little 1 beat off. That may end up being 2 if I get rid of this imp.
I was going to ask you, what is that thing right there?
This right here, because I got the foot soldier bandana that came with the loot crate, don't you know?
No, he does not.
I don't know. Tell me about it, sir.
This here I got from my parents, bless them, about like 7 to 8 years ago. It is and it's got a pimp necklace on for when I did a you know, it was a fancy dress party or a roller disco. Don't judge me. Is actually a metal sculpt work of Predator. So the dreadlocks are actually bike chain. Yeah, and it's just basically just random metal sculpture, but it's one of those you see them in cons sometimes. Is the metal sculpt work. Sometimes they've got like a glass table on top of them. There's like, you know, they're aliens. There's nuts and bolts here and there, and they've given him a sword for some reason, but the arms are spring, so it's just a giant metal sculpture, and it's absolutely awesome.
That is cool.
And he's right next to me, 3-0 Optimus Prime.
Oh, I didn't know you had that. I couldn't even see that.
What's this now? Dog tags?
Is that the Bumblebee?
Oh, that is awesome.
Beautiful piece.
Is that the Bumblebee Prime?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Your voiceovers for all these characters. I'm Optimus Prime. Hello.
If I do stop motion animation, they're all going to have this voice. Hello.
Autobots, roll out.
Oh, I'm falling over. Oh shit! Yeah, this guy's an absolute beast. Did a whole posing section on the video I did for him, but because he's literally got to move this little thing out of the way here, move this out just to get it. If I can do this now, his spine alone.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa. That is crazy.
Yeah.
So much unnecessary detail.
Ridiculous. All the articulation is so well hidden, and it's mental. These things are moving. It doesn't transform, sadly, but I don't care. It's just to get him in the poses that you can get him in.
Yeah.
Is unreal. Everything moves on him. Just crazy. Apart from, believe it or not, the wheels don't turn. But yeah, that's basic, but you can imagine it goes a lot better.
Cool.
Yeah, beautiful piece. The only thing I need to represent, I'm not going to go the whole 3-0 line because that's just too expensive. Again, the rabbit hole of collecting. I can't believe I'm still wearing this thing. I know they just released Soundwave from Bumblebee as well.
Dude.
With Ravager.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh no. Yeah.
I actually got to mess with the Blitzwing and Bumblebee last weekend.
Well, did you? Oh,
yeah.
My friend Rob's got the Bumblebee. He looks a beautiful piece as well.
Yeah, they look really good. They look really good.
Took a while to get, but actually, that actually luckily turned up during lockdown. Oh shit! Hold on, Zach. That I did not know the eyes lit up on the new.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That is badass.
You got to get this. You guys got to get this. I don't know if you're a Predator fan, Jesse, but like, dude, this guy right here.
I'm a Predator fan, and I don't have a single Predator yet because I am afraid that if I get one, I'm going to get all of them.
This will take you down the hole, man.
Yeah, I'm running out of space. So there's a lot of stuff that I want that I just holding off the best I can, just because I'm running out of space.
I got that Predator. There's tons more behind. I've got tons more in boxes because Predator is what I started with. I bought the whole Lost Tribe back when they had really bad articulation, and now they're doing re-releases of them. I pre-ordered everything that they've put out thus far because I know they're going to do the whole tribe again in their new Ultimate fashion with all the new articulation, and kind of just again another line that I'm falling.
I'm gonna send you a video real quick of the. I don't know. I put it up on my story the other night, but I sent it to you on Instagram of the articulation of how like deep he can get his like legs going up into like jumping positions.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mad, isn't it? And that's for a Predator that was in the movie for like through a minute.
I don't remember seeing him at all. I've tried to find him.
He's like, without the helmet. He's one that didn't have a helmet. They jazzed him up by giving him one. But he was just in the background as the camera panned when they're all surrounding Danny Glover, and he's just kind of. And you don't realise because it's all smoky and shroudy that he actually looked like that. I mean, I had the first release. I sort of used his armor and made, providing all the shit doesn't fall off of him, my mashup of Punisher and Predator.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, that is
dude, that's sick as fuck.
The backpack's magnetized, so it can just go on and off. So basically, I made him sort of like a gunslinger. So the idea is if I can get to turn his head without the backpack.
That is fucking rad, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's got the blood splatter forming the skull in his face. The idea is that he's fought Frank Castle in combat as a worthy opponent who's decided to honor his look by actually having the Punisher skull on his chest as a trophy. And
that is genius.
His bones form the actual skull as well on the armor. Having the teeth.
Oh, man.
He's got accessory there. He's got a little pouch here for his gun, and basically because he loves to use guns as his weapons, so he's just armed with the teeth with guns. So it was just a little mashup concept I thought of. But yeah, I used the Lost Tribes, the original Cyborg Punisher's armor to get.
That is genius. That is really cool, man.
Cheers, man.
I dig it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I hand sculpted these bones from Milliput just to form the teeth of the skull. And then yeah, the necklace was off of the elder predator from the Lost Tribe. He had a sheath with his sword, and on it was like this little skull. So I thought, oh, that's quite cool. I'll turn it into a necklace, and he can wear it around his neck. So yeah, I'm gonna see exit full screen. So yeah, and I did have an idea for a Predator Mandalorian mashup with a baby the child Predator as well, and then suddenly everyone's doing Predator Mandalorian mashups, and I'm like, well, I've lost the enthusiasm to make it, but I still will. It's just going to take a bit. So once I finally finish my refit of the Back to the Future Playmobil DeLorean, then I'll probably move on to that next.
What is okay? Since we're kind of on that topic, how are you guys with Mandalorian?
The show?
The show, everything about it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I
yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong. I would have liked to have seen him just be dedicated to hunting bounties. And with the child, which was a great teaser, it did turn more into a babysitting show for something that they could just sell toys of. But I still loved it. It was great. The child is so damn fucking cute. I love when Mando, you think he's a bit of an arsehole, but then he's actually really nice. He meets Gina Carano's character. They become mates. And what's his name? Quill as well. Fucking Nick Nolte's a legend, and his whole prejudice towards droids as well is just layers upon layers upon layers. You know, so I love the show. The fucking last 2 episodes were just dynamite, and I can't wait for season 2.
I absolutely love it. I've watched season 1 probably 15 times. It's like I cannot wait for season 2 to start.
So
I don't watch trailers. So everybody's like, "Did you watch trailers?" I'm like, "No, I didn't watch it."
You're just about to ask you a question. Did you watch the teaser?
Nope, I sure didn't. I like to be surprised, like in the fullest, like everything that's coming.
Well, don't worry. They didn't give anything away whatsoever. They just sort of gave you sort of like the vibe and the tone. But it looks decent. Now I have no idea. It's coming out. When is it? October 30th.
October 30th.
Ooh, not long now, gents.
Yep. Yeah. My problem is that I could see something though. Like I'll see something, and then I'll just start focusing on it, and then I'll start thinking things through, and then it ends up like being like everything that I thought it was going to be. That's my problem. Is that I'm too good at guessing what's going to happen.
Really, I can predict it.
What started me on the whole like not watching trailers was the Marvel movie. God, what was it? The one with Ultron, Age of Ultron.
Oh, Age of Ultron, yeah.
Their trailers for that movie gave away so much. Not that we didn't know what was going to happen because of the comics and everything, but they showed too much with their trailers that it ruined it for me. Like just because I knew what was going to happen, how they were going to do it, like it just killed it. So from that point on, I just stopped watching trailers for everything. Well, not everything, just the movies that I was really interested in watching. I just stopped watching trailers and shows and everything. And then every time I went into a movie, it blew my mind because I didn't know what to expect. Like, what was it? Spider-Man Homecoming. That was the first one, right? With Tom Holland.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Michael Keaton was the Vulture.
Really?
When he came on screen, it was the best ever. It blew my fucking mind. It was so awesome. Like just going into movies and not knowing what to expect, and then things like that pop up. So from then, like I just never watched trailers, and it's just so much
spoilers left and right.
Oh my god, yeah, avoiding the internet like crazy. Like anytime I would see something of, whatever movie, it just instantly swipe, and then I already have a problem like remembering crap, so it's easy for me to like out of sight, out of mind, anyways. So You know,
what was a killer, because sometimes I don't know what they do with, like, you know, the pre-show of when you're in the cinema or theater watching a film, but it's just before the trailers or just after the trailers, they'll do some like cinema adverts for, like, you know, we're doing this in Dolby surround sound shit, but then they'll play a little snippet of the film you're just about to watch. Like, it was the big one. My friend is the exact same. When we went and saw Avengers 1 first time, he was saying he avoided everything under the sun trailer wise, and then just as we're seeing the movie with all the trailers before the film had finished, they put this advert on, like, for their fucking club card or some shit, and it showed the image of Iron Man flying around the corner of the building and that gigantic fucking Leviathan following him. And for fuck's sake, is that I didn't want to see that shit. And it's like, you just that little bit alone, and it's like, you cunts, absolutely. You got this close.
Yeah. My friend always makes fun of me. We always go watch the movies, and every time the trailer comes up, I'm just sitting there like, talking everything out, and then like the people sitting next to me are like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?" I'm like, God, don't bother me. Let me do what I want to do.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I was wondering actually how you get around that when trailers dropping. When the trailers before a film you're about to see. Yeah. Just got to away, or just pick that moment to go to the bathroom or go to concession stand or something.
I just put my hoodie over my head, plug my ears, and just and then my friend will tell me like, it's over, dude. I'm like, all right, cool.
And do you guys think anybody will ever go back to the movies now?
They're trying. I mean, I know a lot of them are putting out older films, but like in terms of new releases, I know David, what's his name, Christopher Nolan is desperate to put Tenet out.
Yeah.
And he's just got this thing going with James Cameron to try and save movie theaters. But man, it's looking bleak. It really is looking bleak.
You know what? I want to go back to the movie theaters just because it's just like I love watching movies in a movie theater. The one there are movies that I'm like, oh, that could wait for home. But there's just some movies I'm like, oh, that needs to be on a big screen. So.
Even movies that you look back when you rewatch them again at home, and the movie is like, this actually ain't as good as what I thought, but the experience of seeing it in the movie theater made it 10 times better, and that
does not hit as hard as it does.
No,
exactly. Like the whole the end game, when everybody starts coming back and the crowd's screaming, like you can't get that at home.
I vlogged my entire experience of that, and the people I was with had been with this, like, we'd built this journey up of going to see them all. And recently to see them all in fucking IMAX, floor to ceiling, curved screen. It was incredible. I was like, right, this is it. We'd done the same for Infinity War, and we just lost our minds with that. And now this is it. This is the end game. So we made a whole big deal of it. And as soon
I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about that scene right now. The cat scene.
Yeah, same. Oh, it's so good.
On your left, the music, everyone coming back, and then as soon as he said, right, Avengers assemble, and then fucking Thor just let out this primal roar, and all of them started, the whole cinema just screamed like we were going to battle as well, including me, and it was just crazy. It's mad. And that was one thing I watched also with cinema reactions, if someone sneakily just filmed, and it's Infinity War when Thor comes down in the Rainbow Bridge into Wakanda and just like fucking bang with lightning. Everyone just lost their fucking minds. Moments like that.
I still have chills like just thinking about it right now. Like, I don't think there will ever be another buildup as big as that.
Wow.
I mean, that was a 10-year span. There will never be another buildup like that again. Like to get to that moment of how over the course of 10 years, just to get to that moment, there will never be like that big again for me.
Exactly. Like, for the majority, all like, was it 22, 23 films? Like if you go from Iron Man 1 to Endgame,
23,
right? Out of all of them, you could sort of round it off to opinion is that all of them are great, barring what? Like people have like maybe 2 or 3 out of 23 that they're like, nah, they don't like that one. That's a good ratio. For a 23-year films, like not even a trilogy, what do you call that? Some kind of trilogy. It's just 22 films in one series. And like out of the whole lot, only you find maybe 2, maybe 1 or maybe 2 that aren't your cup of tea. That's a fucking good ratio for that many films. Right? And that's very easy for like to be half of them are shit and half of them are good, or this is where it tapered off and this is that. No, and even some that you can clearly tell aren't as good as others. Just that you still enjoy them. Like, I still get a kick out of The Dark World because half the fucking thing's set in London. So I'm watching it thinking, I've been down that street. I know that building. I know that building. That's the kick of it for me because obviously it's my hometown, and shit like that. So I get kicks out of them. We all get a little kick out of each one individually. Like, again, when I first saw Thor Ragnarok, and people might not. That's their cup of tea if they don't like it or not. For me, I laughed from start to finish in that cinema all the way through that film. I had so much.
It's a great movie.
So
I
much
love
fun.
that one.
Yeah,
it's really good. I love that one.
That whole shelf is Thor Ragnarok right there, and it's just the moment he's just chained up and he's narrating to himself, "Oh, I'll be back around in a minute." Honestly, I'm not doing this; it's doing it by itself. Just this person set, I'm getting pissed off now. I'm just in tears laughing. It's so good, but and it's just you can't. I don't think it could be replicated again. Just they knew what they were doing. I mean, I can't say what they're going to do now. We'll have to see, but yeah, kind of now we'll see how they go. There's only a few pockets that I'm interested in: Doctor Strange, Blade, some of the Disney Plus shows. I wouldn't mind seeing Falcon Winter Soldier. I'll check out WandaVision, see what that's about. Loki, Hawkeye. I don't mind those movie-wise. What are your thoughts? Have you done it? If you guys have heard, I don't know. I know you, Jesse. I know you're staying away from trailers, but what's your senses like with news regarding a film? Like who's been cast?
The only news that I've heard so far that's a rumor is of Jamie Foxx being Electro again.
Yeah, I
don't know how I feel about that.
Neither
honestly,
do
I didn't like him. I didn't like him as Electro. It didn't work for me.
No, everyone's arguments like, "Oh, he's a good actor." It's like, yes, he is. He just weren't good at Electro.
Somebody was saying the guy that played Red Skull. What's his name? He's in The Walking Dead. Aaron.
The Red Skull in Endgame and that. Yeah, he's good with impressions. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He'd be good. Yeah, he'd actually be really, really good. So yeah, I don't know, but if this is how they want to try and introduce a multiverse with Spider-Man, there are other ways of doing it other than Electro. Not you have to be your way in. And it's like, for instance, if you're going to do a multiverse where have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield come back in, the Peter Parkers look different. And why is Electro looking the same? Unless they do make him look completely different, just have the same actor. I don't know. If it is, they go the way they go with it. It's been a while since I've checked it out, but I'm going to quickly look at the chat. Sorry, guys, if you missed you for a while, but let's have a look where we at.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, man, no problem. I'll quickly go through some chats. Here we go. Right. Sorry, guys, I need to sleep. Enjoy the vids. Good night, all. Yep. Take care, mate. It's probably long sleep now. Maverick 5 UK. I've converted my loft into my geek den. It's like my fortress of solitude from my 2-year-old twins. Good man. I wish I had that space. Luis Vega, yo. What did I miss? Just got my MDX Batman, Old Man, and the Hot Toy Spider-Man 2099. Both are super beautiful figures. Oh yeah, have you seen that? The 2099 Hot Toy Spider.
Yeah, that looks awesome. It looks really good.
Yeah. Luis Vega again, I need that Prime. It's a beautiful piece if you get it. And yeah, Maverick again, you can't beat watching a film at the cinema. At home, it's too easy to pause the film, pick your phone up, etc. The cinema, you're 100% immersed in the film. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Yep. And I would say also commentating over a film, even if you haven't seen it before. I've only had a few bad experiences in the theatre, in the movie cinema, where I've had a bunch of youths up on the upper row smoking weed and causing shit, and a bunch of women in front of me talking over the entire thing and cackling like some fucking hens, just laughing over everything, and I can't hear a fucking word I'm saying. I can't hear shit. Only a couple of times, and then a couple of times where the fire alarm's gone off and we had to be rushed out for nothing, and come back in and someone's in your seat. It's like, bastard, you absolute bastard. What was it? It was with my girlfriend at the time, and we did a double feature. It was her first time seeing Civil War, and then we did a double feature of seeing the second Bad Neighbours. So we did Civil War first, and then we had some lunch in between. Then we went and saw Bad Neighbours, and literally 5 minutes into Bad Neighbours, the fire alarms went off, and we had to be rushed out of the cinema. I'm so glad the fire alarms didn't go off during Civil War. I love that movie.
Yeah. My Civil War experience, the first time I watched it, literally right when Thor beams down, or what? Yeah, Civil War, right? When he does that, the whole entire screen goes blank. Film shuts off. The entire crowd was screaming like, "What the fuck?" Going crazy.
No.
And then the people, the guy that's trying to run the projector was like freaking out. It was a kid, and they're trying to get it going. It was pretty bad. Like the crowd just went nuts and was just yelling and screaming. And they were like a whole bunch of Karens. Let me speak to your manager, and you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, hell hath no fury like a bunch of nerds scorned, you know? Like it was getting pretty crazy in there.
I want to see battle lines drawn between Karens and nerds, and it's like, no, I think nerds would win. You know, just let me speak to you. I'm the fucking manager.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no. Luckily, I haven't had a bad cinema experience watching a Marvel movie. No, I don't think I have. Like in terms of just other people ruining it. I remember I've got a great cinema story, and it's fucking hilarious. When one of the big theatres that we have in London, Leicester Square, it's a massive open square. We have a lot of the when they come to do the premieres here in London, in Europe or London, they have them there, and they've refitted the cinema now, so it's all modern. But back then, it used to be like a play theatre where you would have like balcony level, and then the slopes, kind of like what you would find in a West End or Broadway theatre. And we were watching Snatch, the Guy Ritchie film Snatch, in the cinema, and so long ago. But I'm sitting next to my friends, and all of a sudden, one of the workers, one of the stewards or whatever you want to call it, came up and insisted that we all leave, but not me, just my friends. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? And they all got up and left. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it was like about 15 minutes gone by, and I'm sitting there thinking, what the fuck has gone on? I don't know whether to leave or what. And eventually they came back. Apparently someone was making a bunch of noise or causing some trouble, and they reported my friends thinking it was them, and it weren't. So they were like, no, these are the ones that did it, boot them out. And they were like, no, we didn't do shit. And they were like, oh, sorry, no, it wasn't them, it was these guys up here. And it took like 15-20 minutes to try and it was just me sat there like not knowing what to do. Like, oh, what do I do? Before the movie, we got there really, really early. So yeah, that was weird. That was just very, very strange. One of those stories you would just remember to this day in your head for a random reason. What else? I remember seeing, when I first saw X-Men 2, when I worked at Forbidden Planet, because we provided one of the entertainment UK biz things, they do the film top 10 shows on TV and shit. We provided a lot of merchandise for their competition they were running, and for that they gave us free tickets to go see it in one of the big cinemas, but it was like about an hour's drive away. But before then, as soon as before we actually got to see the cinema, they had to like film us all outside the cinema, do their long row shots of all of us waiting, get us into the seats, and film us doing some bits and pieces, little Q&A with the audience, and we had to do that 4 times. I got pissed off. I absolutely,
that sounds like fun.
I was done with it. I just, give me the fucking movie now, please. It was just awful. But yeah, other than that, apart from just some rowdy kids smoking weed at the back and some women cackling like witches in front, laughing over everything, that's pretty much it. I've been pretty lucky with cinema experiences. So, what about you, Zach? Have you had any rough cinema experiences?
Well, I mean, besides the fact that one of my friends dated the manager of our theater, and so like every time a new movie came out, we would always get to see it like a week before it's released for free. So I was like, I was talking to her one night, and I said, yeah, so I can't remember which movie it was, but I was like, yeah, it's coming out next week, right? And she's like, yeah, if y'all want to come watch it, we'll open up after closing, and y'all can just swing by. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I was like, are you cool if I bring a few of my friends? They're cool. They don't do shit. She's like, yeah, by all means. So I brought 5 of my best friends and 2 completely different crews. You got one crew of friends and you got another crew of friends.
Yeah.
we get to the movies, and she let us bring booze in, and like it was so chill.
Nice.
So we get in there, and my other group of friends got really fucking wasted and started acting absolutely ridiculous, and
no.
threw a bottle of Jack Daniels at the screen and was throwing shit. Anyway, she told me, she's like, you know, you need to take them and get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, yo, you know, it's them, not me. Like,
throw them under the bus.
yeah, I'm the cool friend. But yeah, it ended up getting like to a huge like fight out in the parking lot. And I was like, damn, I just wanted to watch a fucking movie, man. Like I wasn't drinking. I brought McDonald's in. That's it. I just want to watch the movie.
That's
anyway. They left and they were like, "Don't fucking ever, you know, bring them around us." And then my other friends were like, the ones that were drunk were like, "Yeah, we're gonna call the police on them because they're being ridiculous." I was like, "You fucking retard! You were fucking drunk in the theater. Like, come on, after hours, like."
Damn, can't waste a good freebie though, mate. You can't waste a good opportunity. But no,
man, it was great. When he broke up with her, I was like, no, you guys are supposed to be married.
Don't ruin this for me.
This isn't for you, it's for me. Dad.
Oh no, when the perk dies. But you don't think about anyone else or who it's going to affect. What about me?
No.
But that's always the fear, though, when you have two groups of friends that you know have not met before,
right,
get together, and that's kind of like what it was for me in the later stage of the Marvel movies. So I had my work friends who I was enjoying the journey with. We'd go after work and we'd see the last portion. I think we decided to start doing that around about the homecoming time, and then a couple of more of my work friends decided to join in, and we made a big evening of it. We'd go have some food at a TGI Fridays, and we'd go see the movie, and we all loved it. And I invited my crew from home up to join us for Infinity War and Endgame, and luckily both crews just mixed like there's no tomorrow.
Perfect world, right?
They got on so fine. They just had their own conversations. They were loving it, so we all got on great. It was good to see each other again when we went back for Endgame, and it was just thank God for that. But I tell you what, my weirdest experience in the cinema was seeing 50 Shades of Grey with my girlfriend, the first one. I got dragged to that. And I don't know if any of you guys were dragged to see that movie at the cinema. That's the first one. I never went back for one or two. I broke up with her not long after that. But yeah, so we're in there. I'm sat next to a 60-year-old couple who clearly didn't realize what kind of movie it was. They're old. I mean, I'll say 60, they're more like 70. And before getting in, before we had to wait outside the screen before they let us in because they were clearing up, all there was just a bunch of ladies and all the boyfriends holding the handbags, just looking at the phone whilst their girlfriends went to the toilet before the film. And we just knew we were in that part of, we better get some good fucking sex tonight after this. We're doing them a favor. We're sitting in there watching it, and as it's getting kinky, I'm suddenly well aware that I'm in a room with 70 other people watching sex. And it's weird. It's full on boobs in and out, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! You are very aware that you're surrounded by a bunch of people. Normally, you just lose yourself in the movie and you forget you're around, surrounded by go.
Is this acceptable now? Or
I can't look at this couple that are next to me. I'm just saying, fuck me, I can't. My girlfriend's laughing her head off. And I think there was one scene, I don't know if you've seen the film, but it's when they meet each other in the hardware store and he starts listing out the things that he wants and it's turning her on. It's like, I want some cable ties. And there's a woman down in the audience who squeed every time he named something. He's like, I want some cable ties. Woo! And, it's a hammer. Woo! And I'm just, what are you doing? I kid you not, she made these weird noises. And it was just so weird and bizarre. I was uncomfortable for the entire thing. Absolute entire thing. And I could not look.
You mean you don't watch porn with an audience with you?
No,
you're doing it wrong, Ben. What the hell?
Wait.
Hey, did you ever hear the story about
my parents, like a normal person?
Weirdo. Did you hear this?
Don't. Now
story
Tony,
about Game of Thrones? No. About Macy Williams from Game of Thrones when she did that sex scene. The first time she saw it was with her grandparents, like on TV.
Oh shit!
No way!
Yeah.
Oh, that's not awkward at all.
Yeah.
Oh,
her whole
man.
family and her grandparents. She said it was awful.
I can imagine. Oh no. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh shit, that's weird. Yeah. So that don't get me wrong. The sex after was pretty decent because it got over.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't believe. So I was like, fucking about time.
Fun fact: if you play that soundtrack, it still works. Like the whole soundtrack to the movie. While you're doing it.
What's her name? Oh shit, who did Ellie Goulding. Love you like
yeah.
Oh yeah, he's hot, but no, yeah, I know. And then Rita Ora did the other one, fucking. But yeah, after that, no, I couldn't. That fucking film was so bad.
It was.
But yeah, that's the weirdest one I've had. I did think of another weird experience, but I just lost that just overtook everything. As soon as I thought of that, I was like, yeah, everything else is just shit stories. But after that, that's just fun. But yeah, not fun when you're sitting in the cinema watching porn with 70 other people. Apparently, it's a norm.
Can you imagine what it was like in the early 1900s, or not 1970s, and when that shit was like the 1960s when there were those theaters?
Yeah,
dude. How crazy is that?
All you hear in the back behind you. Jeff, you good?
How crazy is that? They have porn movie theaters. That is insane.
There's actually one downtown here. It's not a porn theater anymore, but the guy I worked with, he's like, yeah, the theater there's 4 theaters downtown, and this one used to be a porn theater back in the 60s and 70s. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, me and my brother used to sneak in there. We get kicked out. And I was like, that's so fucking crazy.
Fucking
that is crazy. I would never want to sit in one of those theaters, but find some standing space in the back or something.
Get up.
Why are the floors so sticky?
I am stuck to my chair for some reason.
Right, so I kick back and relax, and you're oh no, yeah. So what? You get your cup holder, and then would you get your tissue pouch, and you just Kleenex for you clean up afterwards. Oh no.
Anybody got any extra Jergens? I just ran out.
The person running in that projection booth, best job ever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nah, he's all alone running about multiple different screens. Oh, what about this sex scene? What about this sex scene? And just earphones on, so you don't have to hear the crowd fucking doing the same. I never caught anyone doing it. You know, there's always stories of people doing it in a movie theater, and you'd catch them. Never had any of that with me. I don't know. I used to like the front or the middle. I had the cinemas I used to go to used to have like the walkway split the seats. So you have the front, the bunch in front with, you sat right close, you like this. And then you had a path with the stairs going up to the rest of them. And if you caught the first row of the backside, you got the bar where, you could just put your feet up and people crossing in front of you. But you were fine. You didn't have anyone to worry about kicking the chair in front, because I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'6", so I got long legs. So in regular rows, I'm like this. Try and get out of the seat and go past me to the bathroom. I'm like, fuck's sake, trying to do all this shit. It ain't fun. Fun at all. So more legroom for me is better. And but I'm also very tall, so if you're sitting behind me, half your cinema screen is going to be just like that with my head. That's it. Enjoy it.
Right.
Yeah. This is fucking hilarious. So yeah, going back onto it, I really hope that cinemas and theaters just kick back in. We get to, if normality is going to come back in any fashion, I hope that part of it comes along. I don't want, streaming services and home movie releases. They just pushed back Black Widow, for Christ's sake, for and Wonder Woman probably going to be happening the same thing again. James Bond, that's all been pushed back. It's like, when's it going to end? Fucking Toy Fair next year's already been cancelled, and it's not even it's 2021.
Oh,
Yeah.
They canceled. I didn't know about that. They canceled that
know
already?
that either.
Oh, mate. There's no. Yeah, they did.
Wow. No way.
It's already affecting 2021. It's crazy.
That is freaking crazy.
I mean, they've cancelled the fireworks for New Year's. You know, like New Year's drops every city. You watch it on TV, and the news goes around each city of the world, and each city's got their own fireworks display.
Yeah.
Australia is always first because they're ahead in time. They're in the future. So you see the Sydney Harbour go up, and then you see China, and ours is always the London Eye, and it goes up in the London Bridge and shit. Well, they've cancelled those fireworks. So if they do that at all, you'll just skip straight over London because we ain't having it this year. Just so I'm assuming other cities will probably do the same. So yeah, New Year's cancelled, folks. There is no 2021. You think that's going to stop people from celebrating the end of this year? You're having a fucking laugh.
I'm telling you, man, the clock's just going to go to 11:60. It's not going to be 12 o'clock. January, it's going to be 11:60.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Oh, man, but yeah, because they're put a curfew on bars and restaurants here. 10 o'clock, the doors are closing. There's fines if anyone breaches it. You can go to a full packed shopping mall and go to school and go to work, but you can only have no more than 6 people in your household. And they are egging you on to try and report your neighbours if you. It's just fucking bullshit. But you think that's going to stop people from celebrating the end of this year? Not a chance. There's going to be house party after house party after house party.
Oh, yeah.
At least you're going to have a busy night that night. You ain't stopping that. But yeah, sadly, Toy Fair next year is cancelled. So we have a digital version like we did for San Diego, which is fun, but means you've got to be online if you want to catch it. It's not the same.
It's not the same. Yeah, like did you guys join like the panels and stuff that were online?
Not
I
really.
didn't.
A lot of them they were just nonsense Zoom calls, and you know, half of it was, oh, well, this is what we're going to do with the television show that you love. Yeah, we're going to fucking make it full of political messaging and ruin it for you. Because that's what we're doing because we're Hollywood. And it's like, okay, bye. What's going on over here? We're going to do the exact same thing to Star Trek. Okay, bye. And I just, you know, there was only a couple of Zoom interactions that I actually enjoyed watching. And then basically just all I wanted was NECA's reveals, and I had to look on Twitter and just wait every hour for them to reveal something on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the same as
did you guys get anything from the that HasCon one that just ended a week
ago?
ago?
A lot of people jumped on the Hellfire Club and the Goons and other bits and pieces like the G.I. Joe Snake. I personally didn't. The only thing that I really was after, which they haven't put up yet, was the Hand Ninja. Other than that, I'm not good with anything else. Nothing really grabbed me.
I got 4 of the Cobra Troopers, but you're only allowed 1, right? But I went back in 4 times and got it 4 times.
Loopholes.
Yeah, dude. It was crazy. I didn't think it would work either, but it gave me 4 confirmation numbers. So I was like, all right. Well,
I want to see if you're getting any hate in the chat. That's fucking bad.
I didn't think anything of it either until one of my other friends was like, do you really think that they're going to send you 4 though? Because they're going to see that they're all going to the same address and they're all, 1 per household. And I was like, shit. I was like, that's a good idea. So I went to Dorkside and I ordered 4 more. So I might end up with 8 Cobra Troopers in the end. We'll see. I don't know. We'll find out.
Well, at least, if not, you'll still have the 4 that you originally intended, I guess. You know,
exactly. So
there's a lot of people trying to get more than 1 Super Shredder from NECA on their store, and people were bragging, saying, "Oh, I got 2," and then 10 minutes later, they come back, "What? NECA just cancelled my orders? Fucking bullshit!" And it was like, "Well, they did say just 1 per household." And,
well, the funny thing about the NECA Super Shredder one is that when it went online, it their site crashed and everything like within seconds. So I wasn't able to. I had it in my cart, and I was proceeding to the checkout, and then it just froze, right? And then, of course, when we all know that happens, is that your item that you put in your cart has already been taken, and somebody else that has paid has already gotten it, and all that bullshit. And so I was like, you know what? It's frozen. Fine. I'm just gonna leave it. I was at work when this was happening. And I was like, okay, well, I missed out on that. So it's going to be to the stores for me. I'm going to have to go hunt for this. So then 41 minutes later, I was like, all right, well, let's go check and see, if it in fact was sold. Well, I went back in, and because I didn't exit the screen or back out of it, I just kept it in my cart. It was still there. So I clicked checkout, and it went through, and I was like,
really?
What the fuck? And so I was like, okay, well, let's proceed to checkout then. And then it went through again to the next step. And then I just hit, the finalize the transaction, and it went through, and then it gave me a confirmation number. And this is 41 minutes after it initially went up. And I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
So I told my friend, I was like, hey, I just went in there and I got it. And he's like, shut the fuck up. So he went in and he got it. And this is, an hour after it already been playing us. So I was like, and then I go into NECA's, official page, and I'm looking at everybody in the comments and just tearing them out, new asshole, like, fuck you guys, your website sucks, blah, 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 I didn't get it. And I'm like, hey, I just got mine 41 minutes later.
Rubbing it in. It's like, well, I just got mine, just rub it in. Yeah. That's the thing, though, because if it stays in your cart for ages, normally that sort of expired, and you have to refresh and get another one, like, or order it again, put it back in your cart because it's expired. But normally when it does unfreeze, it will then tell you it's sold out, because I had the exact same thing. I put it in my cart, I waited for the drop, got home. It was 6 o'clock in the evening for us. And got one in my cart, froze. Fuck, okay, so refresh, weren't having it. I clicked out, put another one in my cart just in case, froze again, eventually said sold out. So I thought, fuck, I missed the flash sale. I'm gonna have to wait for the UK stock to come in so I can pre-order it there, and I'll be fine. I just, because I had luck with the Casey and Raf 2-pack off the store, and I didn't even know that was a flash sale. They just put that up on the whim. I thought, oh, it's up there, let me see if I'll get it quicker, and it worked. So my friend's Turtle Boy managed to grab one, and I was like, you lucky bastard. And yeah, so I had to suffer and wait. But it's a really fucking a nightmare in the flash sale. But then they put them up for pre-order, for that week-long pre-order, like they did with ToyconNJ, and hoping they'll do more, and they're doing it bit by bit, which is good. But just like, it seems like everything seems to be shipping in November. So but it's a good way of getting around it. I know but I said this before, and it's kind of like with all the shit that all the road speed bumps they have in the road with all the pre-orders and all this shit online, NECA seemed to be the only one that was actually taking action into trying to fix things. Like with scalper bots coming in and fucking everything up. They go, okay, we'll put in a cache capture system, and we'll send you a code that you have to put in via your phone. We'll do, okay, you're having trouble finding them in stores. Well, they didn't seem to be very happy with the programs they had going with Target and Walmart. So they're like, well, what we can allocate, we'll do our own pre-orders, the very thing that people have been screaming at them to do for a while. And they did it. And they did it very quickly. These things, the creases they were trying to iron out, and the things they were trying to rectify, and the course corrections that they were doing, they were not only actually doing them, but they were doing them very, very fast in the middle of a pandemic with a limited staff. And I weren't seeing any of that kind of action from any other toy company that people were having trouble with, like Mezco and Hasbro with all their stuff like that. And it's like, and they were still getting, people were still just tearing them a new arsehole. And it's like, I know you didn't get the thing that you wanted, but surely you can recognize that they're making efforts to try.
Right.
More so than anyone else.
Hey, boys.
I wish that they would just go their site, just order straight through them, the entire time. In a perfect world, that's how it would be. Yeah. I mean, I get why they can't, because the whole license for Ninja Turtles is still owned by Nickelodeon and Playmates and everything like that. So, they have to go through their specific way of getting things into the stores, which I get, but it just sucks for the whole supply and demand of how everything goes. And
it is, yeah. You okay, Mike? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have to hop off.
All right, mate, no worries. That's all right.
I just wanted to let you know. It was a good time, man. For both of you.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
We'll do it again. It was nice meeting you, Jesse.
Definitely nice meeting you, man.
Definitely.
You boys have a good night, all right?
Cheers, mate. Nice. Thanks for dropping. Thanks for coming on, brother. You take it easy, yeah?
Yeah, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man.
Definitely, mate. All right, mate.
Bye.
See you, man. So, yeah, I agree, mate. They've got all the different, there's different legal things in the way. I guess that's why the distribution to international rather than domestic, I can't even begin to understand where that is. but I guess there is some shit going on there. But like even with that, right, people were complaining that there was too much being charged on postage for domestic. Like you could be down the road like you are from their distribution center and you're still getting charged $20 from their store, and people just weren't having it. It's like, okay, so what about we do a fixed rate at $14 and we'll give you $5 off your super shredder if you ordered it. It's like, at least they're doing something. No, they still get people shitting on. But yeah, it's sad. But I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but they're giving us shit. We dreamed about this as a kid, you know?
Exactly. You know, I mean, I get it. You know, in very populated collector areas like I'm in, I get the frustration. You know, it sucks. You know, it's like you want something so bad, but you can't get it because, you know, like I said, the supply and demand is just not there. It's not being met. So if they were able to just have their store dedicated to getting these, you know, specific lines, especially Ninja Turtle. I mean, there's hundreds and thousands, millions of Ninja Turtle fans, you know? So, I mean, and not everybody collects the cartoon. Not everybody collects the movie. Not everybody collects the video games. You know, you got guys like me that collect them all. You know what I mean? But if they could have it just specifically online, like that would just, in the end, make everybody happy. It'll get them more money, you know? That way the scalpers don't get, you know, their end of it, you know, making money off of, you know, their product and everything. But, you know, it is what it is. I just wish that, you know, even with Hasbro, I hate the fact that they're giving the army builders exclusives. Like Target should not have all the Cobra Troopers. That's bullshit.
No, makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like army builders should be straight across the board at every store, every location, comic shop, mom and pop, online. It should be there regardless for army builders. Fine. You want to have which one is Hasbro had the that Pimp Daddy Destro, like that was exclusive on their website, whatever. It's like fine, do whatever those ones exclusive, fine. But when it comes to like specific army builders, nah, straight across the board. Every store, everybody have a chance. The supply will be greater. You'll have a better chance of getting them. But it's not like that, unfortunately.
It's dumb moves, man. Like you said, the quirky ones, the ones that are a bit, you know, different or different, you know, variant shit. Yeah, exclusive all day long. It's perfect exclusive material.
Exactly.
But like the stupidest thing I saw, I think it was Dan Who that found which weren't even meant to be for sale. There was some idiot just put them on the shelves, which seems to be the case. The Hellfire Club Goon. He managed to find the first army builder of that in a Forbidden Planet we had here in London, and did a review. He just wanted to get a review out, and internet went nuts. It's like, okay, they're hitting shelves and whatnot. But it was one of those things where they had them, they weren't meant to be put out, but they did. And then I see a picture of, they eventually did hit the shelves, and I saw someone put a picture of one up with the Forbidden Planet sticker with the price on it, and it said limited to one per customer. It's a fucking army builder box.
Yeah.
It's a little simple box with the figures just in a bit of plastic, and that's it. Because it's an army builder, limited to one per person. It's a fucking army builder.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense.
It's like, no, the foot 2-pack, you only allowed one, and you've got to split it with someone else.
Yeah. The foot soldiers that I have, the movie ones at least. Oops. Can you still see me?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. The movie ones that I got, I ordered them through GameStop. Right. There was the Blades version and the Melee version, and I ordered 5 of each, and they were like $30 each at GameStop, I think it was, but I ordered 5 of each. And it just so happened that the week that they got them in store, you know, for me to go pick up, was their, what we have here called a bag sale.
Okay.
Or GameStop's bag sale. So it ended up being like almost, I think it was 50% off.
Oh shit.
So so I ended up getting, you know, $300 worth of figures for $150. So it was an ultimate score for me. It just, you know, the stars aligned.
Yeah,
I cast in all my luck, and you know, I ended up with all the foot soldiers that I got, and I got them for half the price. You know, so I mean, it was awesome. You know, and I set them up in my DTOF shelf, and I posted it. and then NECA featured it on their page.
I saw that.
So
yeah, I saw that.
yeah, I did. So I was at work. We're not allowed to have our phones out at work, so I wasn't on Instagram all day, and I came home and my phone was just. I went into Instagram and it just blew up. Like it was just freezing because I had all these comments and all these likes and everything that was going in there, new followers, everything, and tons of DM messages. And I was what the fuck is going on? And then
everyone that follows you telling you that you've just been featured.
Yeah, like, so I was like, what the hell are they talking about? And then they're like, I go into my DM to, the guys I talk to, they're like, dude, congrats on getting featured and, everything. I was like, I was like, no way. So I go to NECA's page and I see it. And then I go into the comments of, that post, and everybody's just bitter. Like, oh, there's all the foot soldiers. Like, oh, this is the guy that stole them all and fuck this guy and this. And then, like my friends that knew that I had pre-ordered them through GameStop, they were going in there like, pre-ordered them, everybody, you pre-ordered them, you could have done the same. Like they're like, oh, but yeah.
Still salty about it because you have them and they don't. I know.
Exactly.
Watch them freak out, though, is fucking hysterical. That's hilarious.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. And like I feel bad because it's like, at one end I'm like, I'm with you guys, you know what I mean? Like I want to be able to find my shit in the stores too, but when it comes to pre-orders, if you guys don't jump on that pre-order, that's on you. You know what I mean? So that's where I think a lot of the people in the community, they don't. I don't want to say that they don't have access to that information, because even me, there's some things that come out, I'm like, when the fuck did this get announced? You know what I mean? But when I can, or I'll put it up on my my stories. Hey, this is up for pre-order now.
Yeah.
Go get it while you can. Let it be known that everybody has a chance of getting this equally. For something like that. But yeah,
that's what we try and do with the Plastic Action UK thing. Is it more of just news? We have our fingers into quite a lot of pies that especially Tom, he's a master. He's got his fingers even more pies, and he fires up DMs of us of pictures of shit that just got revealed or whatnot, and it was like, holy shit, this is coming out, and we try and then put it on the page in our stories and saying, look, this is at least coming out. We don't know when yet. And then, but also like follow Randy on. I don't know if you on Twitter. Twitter's a cesspool of scum and villainy, but I purely on it just to follow NECA because they do drop a lot of news first on there.
I don't have any Twitter, so I never see that stuff. Yeah,
it comes in. Like Randy will then go like 2 days out of every week. He'll just do a whole binge of just answering people's questions or putting shit up, and then he will answer. Someone asked him, "Will we ever see a regular shredder from Secret to Use?" And he goes, "Yes, next year." There's news there. Why don't you just make that announcement? But no, it's just someone asked the question. He goes, will we see an Ernie Reyes? That was a question too. And he goes, stay tuned.
Whoa.
Just randomly answer the question. So I try and capture all these tweets and try and have something, if there's anything worthwhile, then that's why I like doing these shows as well, to go through his Twitter feed. There's nothing really major this week. Although what was quite funny was that he put up a tweet of someone apparently in the UK managed to get the Back to the Future figures, because ours won't arrive until like end of this month, maybe early November. And they're like, oh yeah, Back to the Future first in the UK. And I'm like, what? I know most of the UK online retailers personally. And I know for a fact they're not in here. So I was like, how? Where'd you get these from? Oh, I just pre-ordered them and they came through. I was like, yeah, but how? Where did you order from? And he goes, well, they just came. I said, you're not answering my question. Where did you get these from? And he goes, oh, China on eBay. But they're definitely not KOs though. And I laughed my head off. Laughed my head off. It's like, you silly little doodlebug. China, eBay. Just 2 words alone just combined to make the fucking epitome of fake news. It's just oh, they're so going to fall apart. I mean, they could be legit. I don't know, but it's just the fact that he just said China and eBay, and I was like, there it is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you already know what he's in store for.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't. Yeah.
That's why you're the question. It's like, yeah, and I just didn't reply after that. I knew it. Yep. But yeah, so he has a habit of just dropping news simply by answering people's questions on Twitter. So it's like this just weird ToyCon New Jersey thing again, just dropped in my DMs, and we're like, what the fuck? What's this all about? And now And as soon, like yourself, like as soon as anything like it comes on, it's on the stories. Try and make sure everyone gets it. When I know that pre-orders come up in the UK, I'll try and let everyone know. Make sure I got mine in first, so they don't rinse the stock.
Right.
But, you know, you've got to be done. You've got to be done. And then I'll drop the news now. But yeah, just to give everyone a chance, like, just to, like you say, just make sure everyone's aware of it at least, because I know there's loads of people that haven't a clue. There's some people that just strictly follow one NECA group in Facebook, and they think that they can get all their news from them. So, you know, and they're completely unaware that NECA themselves have a social media presence. And they're just like, oh, what? Toka and Raza are coming out? When are these? It's like the pre-order was last week, man. We put posts everywhere. And we realize that new people are coming into the collecting game every single day. And
right.
So that's it.
Yeah, and that's another thing, you know, like you said, like new people coming in. I never think about that. I never think of like every day, like somebody, you know, they're watching the movies and then, oh, you know what, maybe I'll look and see if there's a figure. And the next thing you know, they're in our community, they're in our world. Like I never think of new people. I always think of, you know, the people that are already here, that are already established in it, that, you know, they know the game, they know the hunt, they know how it works. But I don't think of, okay, well, John next week just discovered that, you know, they made a figure of this, and like, damn, that really does suck for them, because I was that guy at one point. Like there was Ronin Warrior figures that were made in I guess it was 2003, and I'm a huge Ronin Warriors cartoon. I don't know if you know that cartoon, but it's called Samurai Troopers in Japan and everything, but it's called Ronin Warriors here. And I was a huge fan of the show, and I never knew that they made figures for it. And now those figures are like $1,000 each. And I almost bit the bullet on it. I almost paid that for all of them. But I'm glad I didn't, because, you know, this other company decided that they're going to make their own.
Good.
Yeah, it's these guys right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just really cool figure and everything. And you know, but like I said, going back to it, I wasn't collecting, and I didn't know what figures were being made, and I didn't know that. So I was that new guy coming into, you know, all of this and not knowing. So it's like, yeah, if you're just getting into the community and you're just finding out that they make these things, but, you know, you're a couple years late, or you're just late, as in, you know, the whole Toka and Razar situation. That was a 1-week deal online. Yeah, that sucks, right? That sucks that you're not going to be able to get a hold of that now.
No,
you know,
I mean, I'm starting to really think about that more and more whenever I see the like someone put up a post in one of the NECA groups on Facebook saying, you know, do you know where I can get hold of these? And they're after like the 4 turtles. And I'm like, well, there's different ways, you know, or something that, you know, just been and gone. And the immediate thought is, where the fuck have you been? You've been living under a rock.
Yeah,
you know, exactly. It's the biggest figure, you know, and then it's like, he's new. Okay, they're new. But sometimes they'll be open and honest. Say, look, I'm new. I just got into the line. Any chance you can help me find these? And others will be like, they know these are the ones that make me laugh. The ones that are, you see them in the comments, they're sick of turtle posts, because they like, you know, they're the ones that claim, oh, it's all NECAs all doing is turtles these days, and they love all the horror and shit. And then they finally decide to actually bite the bullet and buy one, and then they openly admit, okay, yes, these figures are fucking awesome, and they know want every them, and just it spoke too soon, man. But you're I think about it more, catching myself not being the instant, where the fuck have you been all this time? Are you living under a rock thing? It's starting to easily block now. But like you say, it's just late in the game. Like, for instance, the SHF Power Rangers, I managed to grab a Red Ranger at a reasonable price before they went to like the $200, $300, $400, $500 price point, the pound point, you know, and I saw them all up there for like, you know, about 50 quid. Somewhere even like 20 quid, and I just didn't have the dosh at the time, and I thought, I'll leave them. I'll wait until next month comes around, payday, and then I'll grab them, or grab one here and there. Had no idea that literally the next month they all went skyrocketed in price. And even now, even though we got the Hasbro ones, it's crazy. The secondary market's fucking crazy. But luckily, I was unsuccessful. I had someone in LA was able to grab me the SDC's turtle set. So So I was very, very fortunate about that, because it was the time when we couldn't get them in the UK, and that was kind of like my dream figures to just have these. I didn't expect anything more from it. And then when we got the villain set, not really talking to that friend much, and I didn't really want to hit him up out of nowhere and say, hey, can you do me a favor? So I sort of left it, and I thought, well, I'll try myself in an American address that I'd set up before they did international, and I didn't get lucky on the sale. So I thought, fuck, I'll just have to wait. I managed to get a really good deal on eBay, which was only a teensy bit more I paid if I would have got them through a friend and paid for shipping and customs and all this shit. So I was happy with that. Luckily, managed to get the Shredder Splinter capture set. And then the big announcement was that they'll be made available in the UK, and everyone lost their shit. People like Plastic Snap, Simon Hill, who, you know, he's a very tight budget with his figures, and even he can make magic with them, was desperate for them, and I really wanted to get him a set. And when they became available in the UK, it was the best news he'd ever heard. It's like anyone who's a Turtles fan should know how to grab these figures at some point, you know. And I know I saw a load of people, they were complaining, oh, it loses their exclusivity then if everyone can have them. It's like, I get it, but at the same time, I don't care, because these are so good, everyone should have a chance to get them. So,
I agree.
I did really sympathize on that.
Yeah.
You know,
when there were, I can't remember what figure it was too, that, you know, there was people saying like, oh, like what you just said, if you take away the exclusivity, you know, it drives the price down because they're mass produced and blah blah. But how shitty would that be if you're just, you know, an Ultimate fan and you can't get it? You know what I mean? Like, put yourself in their fucking shoes. If you have it and they don't, you'd be just as pissed. You'd be just as upset. You know, if that role was reversed. So I say fuck that. I think that everybody should be able to get something at a reasonable price rather than having to go to the secondary market, you know, and paying an arm and a leg, you know, for, I mean, something that you love. Come on now. You know, everybody should get a piece of that.
Yeah. For sure. And it's like you said before, there's just certain things in your collection that if you ever had to let go of a lot of it, they're staying. I'm getting buried with these. They ain't leaving my side.
Exactly.
Everything else can go. I couldn't lose him. You know, this was at a time when you could only get them through the Comic-Con exclusive before they were released single carded. It was it. There was also the big news when, even in the US, when they stopped becoming exclusive and they got given the GameStop treatment, single card. Great news for everyone. And then of course, being made international, even better. Everyone's a winner.
Yeah, I mean, when NECA first,
I can't wait to continue building it.
I was gonna say, when NECA first did the quarter scale movie Ninja Turtles, you know, the 18-inch ones, everybody was raging. You know, it was amazing. I've got all of them. I don't have the only ones I don't have of those are the Shredder and the Foot Soldier, but I have all 4 turtles. But you know, it was cool. But for, you know, guys like me and you that like to do the toy photography, I'm not going to go make a 1/12 scale sewer. You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, not 1/12, 1/4 scale sewer. Make it, you know what I mean? That'd take up an entire fucking room. But our community exploded when they announced 1/12 movie Turtles. Like, it came out of left field because we never knew that they were going to get the license to be able to do that because of what they said previously. Like, oh, we could only make it in these quarter scales because that's what we're being allowed to do. And that's it, you know, so be thankful that we could even do that and bring this to you guys, you know. And when I got those quarter scale turtles, I was happy. I loved it because it's like, holy shit, they're movie perfect. But man, when they announced 1/12 scale movie turtles, I shit myself. And I was like, okay. Man. You know, I was like, all right.
I remember the post.
Yeah. I was like,
I remember Randy's post. It's all of, the photo he took was all of them like in a sofa living room style setting, and Randy's in front of the TV holding up the box, and it's of the cassette, and it was this big box in this scale, and it's like with a question mark and like that, and we're all just like, don't fuck with me, Randy, don't fuck with me, just losing their minds, losing their absolute minds. And then it was joy to behold. I flipped my fucking, what hair I had left went, you know, that's it. And I did everything in my power to try, and luckily I was a few friends that I'd made in the community were happy to try. I heard horror stories of people not being able to get them, and I sort of was starting to accept defeat, that my friend might not be able to have much luck, because he wasn't getting a set himself. He wanted the Extraction Dutch, the one who comes with a red polo vest, and it's like, well, do you mind if you grab me one of those, if you can, please, and also try for the turtles if you get a chance, and I'll PayPal you every penny you need right then and there. And he got through straight away, and I had the best day at work when he told me.
Yeah.
And then they sat in LA Customs for 2 weeks before they actually shipped out to me. He'd posted them, and 2 weeks later they were still sitting in LA Customs. They finally got over to our shores, and then when it reached our customs border, our customs officers decided to just fucking tear the whole package open and have a look inside, rather than slip it out of the case. So the whole top lid, because it's obviously a slip case from the bottom, right? The whole top, including the cardboard box frame of the clamshell, was So everything was mint inside, just the box itself, the top of it was just destroyed. I was like, you cunt.
Oh my God.
Absolute.
That breaks my heart, man. That breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm. So unlucky, I would love to have the box on display because it's so cool. Just mine's got a fucking dirty, great big tear down the one side of it, and if you turn it around, there's the so that was heartbreaking, but that was kind of like, all right, I bit that bullet and just made sure that they were right inside and they were perfect. Absolutely perfect. So yeah, can't wait for more to this line. Can't wait for ToyConNJ. If you get a chance to, or if you get a couple of hours to yourself, definitely, I don't know if you checked it out, but the show we did last week, where I had TMNT Configuration, Turtle Boy, and Dioramas, all of them showcasing their Super Shredder dios of the dock. TMNT Configuration and Turtle Boy were showcasing for the first time they were showing them off. Dioramas had already done a video of his, but 3 different styles. Turtle Boy had done a DTOF version where it's like this big and it had the back wall. TMNT Configuration one the size of a fucking house. It's huge. You can have different versions. They've made it like regular, destructive, and it's just great. And I'm just sitting there in fucking diorama heaven, and I can't wait to see what they all generate for Taza, because that's just gonna be lit as fuck. So yeah, and that's kind of like what with the whole toy photography, man.
Perfect segue there, real quick.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I was gonna say
with the tip.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying with the turtle shots, when I started doing them, I was kind of like, well, with the shots, I go big or I go home. If I can't get them as close to the scene I want to shoot with what I have, I won't bother. So my idea is the key points to get right are the camera angle, the pose, and the lighting. I can dress up the background to make it look near enough whatever you see in the background of this particular scene, to sell it to a degree. If I'm that anal on a certain scene where no, it has to look identical, then I will have to make it. If I can pull off the other things, there's only been 1 or 2 shots where the angle of the movie still just didn't translate well when I tried to shoot it in toy photography, or I just simply couldn't recreate it because I didn't have the space. And there's only been a couple of times where that's happened, where I've had to then shoot it from a different perspective and like kind of give whole. When I do that, I'll be like, okay, well, here's the same shot, but from this angle, to give you a different feel for it, but you can still get that I'm shooting that scene. But there's still tons of that movie I want to shoot still. I'm actually going to be seeing. I'm going to try and visit.
My absolute favorite shots from the movies. Like your shots are amazing. It looked exactly like it. Like there. I think it was the one that you did with Mikey, where he's sitting under the drainage waiting for the Domino's pizza to come. The shot that you did. I thought that you just took the clip of the movie and posted it. I was like, okay. I guess he's gonna do this next. I didn't realize that was already the shot. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That was amazing. So yeah, the shots that you've done so far, man, they're so good.
I appreciate it, man. That was one I had no idea how I was going to do that lighting. I had no idea how I was going to do that lighting. I realized I had this weird I bought it off eBay. Someone had made this sort of alien style gantry, you know, with looked like a grating for a floor, and I used it on an alien shot because it looked sci-fi-ish. And I thought, okay, that's similar sort of grate pattern to what was the light shining through. I'll just prop it up over them and shine a light down. Will it give the same effect? And it did, but really big. I was like, how can I get it really thin, small, as thin as I can get it? So I had to literally hold it up here, have my torch, and try and angle it, and then hit my shutter button to try and get it. But the higher up it went, then the smaller the light filtered through, and the grate pattern got smaller. You could actually notice it was actually coming through a grate pattern. And that was tough. I went through so many trying to get the camera setting, you know, the aperture and the white balance right to give it that moody look. But that was one I'm absolutely proud of. It came out the way I wanted it to. The other one, which I'm amazed actually worked, was the overhead view of Shredder in that long shadow. You know, that just perfect shadow as he's making his.
It is so good.
Yeah,
dude.
that. I appreciate that. Was actually, I didn't need to do a damn thing to the figure itself. All I had to do was just drape the cape so it hit the floor. I propped him up a little bit because the cape is quite big, so I need the cape not to trail behind him, more so. So I had him standing on something, see it because it's bird's eye view, and just have it hit the floor. As soon as you hit the light from behind, the shadow cuts perfectly, just cuts perfectly into a straight line, just like it did in the film. I was like, well, they managed to get that lighting effect in the film somehow, right?
Wow.
I guess this is how they did it. And yeah, the only problem was getting the side lighting to, you know, sort of be parallel rather than taper out. But it finally got it to work. That and the Spirit of Splinter in the woods, that was a challenge because I actually used real foliage from my garden. And as soon as I set it up, teeny tiny little bugs started running across my set. I was like, fucking die, because it obviously straight from my garden. I didn't realise all the insects had come in from it as well. And then it took about five hours of my batteries dying just as I was about to take the shot. My camera died, my light died, this died. So I had to it took all day, that shot, but I was happy with it in the end. But yeah, some are easy and fun, some are a bit more difficult, but I appreciate it, I really do, man. So you let me know whatever shot of mine you like, that you'd like a print of, I will send you it. Because I've got a little portfolio of
all of them,
like A4 print.
All of them TMNT.
All the TMNT ones, that can be done. That can be done. Yeah, so I'm working on, believe it or not, Turtle Boy 83 is actually in the process of making me a modular, the skeleton of April's apartment. So basically the way I've got, he's kindly enough offered to do it for me because he's made the best second time around dio and TMNT configuration. If you follow them both, they've made the best second time around shop front dios. Okay. And Turtle Boy 83 has done like a shelf, bit like shelving unit bigger than a DTOV, but it's like here, this sort of wide. And he's built each section. He's done the turtle layer in one, the sewer tunnel in another, and the warehouse where Splinter's being tied up in another. And it just looks, for a shelf style dio, it looks amazing.
Wow.
And he's just done the dock, but he's also here. So I've asked him kindly to build me 4 walls of April's apartment, one of them being that crazy door frame where the front door is, where it's all that weird paneling.
Right.
And then just 4 walls and have one of them be a window. So with that, I can shoot any corner of her apartment by just making a modular, switching it out, and I can make it look like I can shoot in a different area of her apartment. I just have to dress it up with props. So we've got the flooring pattern right, we've got the wallpaper done right, and yes, it's going to look mint. And he's very, very particular on detail, so I cannot wait to get onto that. And I'm actually going to be visiting him next weekend, so I can shoot some of his dio work that I've just described in person. So I'll be able to get some more shots of that. So I cannot wait for that. So more turtle shots to come. Don't you believe me? There's tons. So I'm just in a customizing zone at the moment, which is why I haven't dropped anything toy photography in a bit. So yeah, working on
the sewer you made is insane. I love it. The sewer that you did was awesome, dude. It turned out so good.
Cheers, man. I really am happy with that because it's like I really want a sewer. I'm nowhere near the skill set of these dio builders to actually do this from foam, how the fuck do they do this from foam? So like, what's my quick sort of cheat code way of doing it? Okay, textured paper. Found a dirty, great big postal tube letterbox thing, and like, I wish I hadn't cut it in half. I wish I'd cut it up to where the slot was so I could have the tunnel a bit bigger, but I've only got limited room. Yeah, so, but that's the thing, if I build something just for one shot, I'd ideally like to have it where I could reuse it. Like the shot of Leo sitting on the stool, you know, guarding over Raph in the bath, that whole back wall with the door, there's literally just it. It's just a piece of foam board. I painted it, wallpapered it, put a door in just for that one shot. Haven't reused that since. With the sewer, I wanted it to be, if it's okay, it's big, I have to store this somewhere, I'd ideally like to have it for other things. So I did the water feature that could also be then have the, you know, the regular floor, so it could be a maintenance tunnel as well as a wet sewer tunnel. So I could throw other characters in it. Had to be done that way, so I could get more use out of it. But yeah, that I was really happy with how that came out. So
yeah, it looks.
I definitely want to try and shoot the opening scene where you see the shadow, or those two like Boss and I want to try and shoot that in there. So yeah, I've got some more plans for that, for sure. But yeah, I'm going to try and get some of the second round with Raph and Casey, some in the lair. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm trying to work out all the ideas I've got for when I go around to his place and start shooting with those guys. But yeah, you'll see him if you give him a follow on Insta, and you'll see what I'm on about. It's fucking insane. But yeah, so you've just got some dives yourself recently, haven't you?
I did. I have one that was made by a buddy prime to the 21st. He made it for me a few years ago, and that's like my go-to like back alley one. But then I had another friend that was leaving the game. Like, he's getting out of collecting and selling off his collection and all his stuff. So he had this one piece that was basically just like the facade of the front of a building and a sidewalk that goes down into, like a very small part of the street. But he was selling that. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll take it. Like, anymore now, like, I feel like I'm just trying to get like more props and definitely more dios that that I could do a little bit more with the tour photography, because like I'm finding it like my time is so limited now that it's to get the proper sculpting time, I just don't have it, because I'm very particular with like how I need to sculpt things. It takes me forever to get something done that I go to toy photography. And it's easier for me to, take a shot at something than it is for me to actually be able to work on a custom. So I'm actually in the talks right now with a couple other people with getting some dio work done. And then the sad thing is that I'm also, I started making a Tatooine Star Wars style dio myself that I haven't been able to finish. But like I'm coming across like I want to do more toy photography, but I get the shots that I want, like they come out okay and everything. Like I'm enjoying the process, like I'm nowhere near the level of you and Nose Rain and Plastic Action and all those guys, but the shots that I do, like it's cool. It's very simple. It's just I get my dio, and then I just set up really quick. I get the lighting that kind of works for it, and then I just take a quick shot. But there you go, right there. So
you got a great set.
I get I mean, like just right there alone, this is really cool. But this is the newer one that I was talking about. It's just the front of the store. This is another piece that was made, but I mean, like it's easier to get a toy photography shot in rather than just being able to set up my clay and everything, and then being able to actually sculpt and all that stuff. So but
I agree, mate.
I don't know. I mean, the whole journey in itself has just been crazy.
The grind is real. So this area here is where I do all the toy photography I do and my custom work. So it's kind of like it's either one or the other. And annoyingly, this is also where I store a lot of stuff. So if I'm going to do one or the other, I have to take it all out, and then I've got my open area, and then I have to put it all back. So luckily, if I'm using a Dio, majority of them modular, I can just collapse them and put them away. Majority of the time, depending on what I want to shoot, I'll try and just throw some things in the background to make it look like a Dio, but you pull the camera back, there's fuck all to it. Like the shot of Raph in the bin, upside down in the bin. That, I mean, I made the prop itself. Are you still there? I don't know if you can hear me or not. It's frozen out on my end. Let's have a look. Yeah, you are. There you go. You can hear me all right. But yeah, so the shot of Raph in the bin. That was just literally I had. What was here? I picked 2 of these up from a pet store. They're just for a fish tank.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
I just stuffed them in the background. I had some architectural moss that I just piled up in the back. If you want a deep back, like a backdrop of just deep black with no light reflection, black towel. That's what will get you the infinite black backdrop. Will be just a black towel. So I had that at the back, so I knew light wasn't going to reflect on it, so I could get that field of depth. I had piled up a load of moss, so it just looked like a bush. I had 2 of these in sort of just a bit far out. And then I had some, again, I just picked up some bits and pieces off eBay. Like I bought some railroad gravel for a model way train set that created the floor base. It was a mess to work with, but it was enough to look at park terrain. And yeah, then I made, this took me an hour. It's just a postal tube with hot glue.
That is awesome. I need to do that. I need some trees. That looks awesome.
Yeah. Again, just a couple of posters, like, you know, when you get them bought in the mail, just a couple of poster tubes. I think that's how they were. Yeah, that's how they were. These actually are the tubes that I bought the textured wallpaper from the brick wall for my sewer diorama. This is what they came shipped in. And yeah, so just ran streaky hot glue, painted them up. They look like here, don't look like much, but when they're out of focus in the background, you got yourself some trees. So just dot them, and then had light come through one side, light come through the other side, and yeah, boom, that was it. So when you pulled the camera away, it weren't really anything apart from just a bunch of shit thrown together. And like, even if you have like a dream, exactly, it's crazy. But yeah, I'll randomly just pick up dollhouse miniatures. Like for the one shot I did of Mikey holding the turtle wax bottle, which is literally, you see behind the scenes of that shot, there is nothing to it. I bought a dollhouse staircase, which I painted the back, which was white. Again, off eBay, dollhouse miniatures, they're cheap as hell. Cost like a tenner. I painted the banister black. I bought this little china, like, you know, with a kitchen cabinet where you could, you know, it's got drawers, but the whole thing's open. Threw some china plates that, again, dollhouse miniature shit that I had lying around. I get props. So yeah, did prop game up your prop game. And then that was pretty much it. All I needed was half of that in the shot, the staircase just at the back, and the whole focal point of the shot was Mikey with the turtle wax bottle. And everything else, that was it. That's what made the shot. Sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes all you need is just like coloured poster board and some environmental props of any kind. So we go on the hunt. We look at WWE accessories. We look at Diamond Select accessories, because those figures, they may not be great, but they come with some really good accessories. They're all in scale. One dollhouse miniature stuff can work, even though it can be a bit small. And if need be, we find someone who can 3D print, and we can just 3D print all sorts of shit. But or we make a little project, like I made the trash can. And just random stuff like that, and because sometimes, you know, dios can be really expensive. I only have like about 2 or 3 that I'm put together in different ways to form different shit. But other than that, yeah, just the prop game goes up, the lighting goes up. I've got every kind of light you can think of. You can never have too many lights for all different things. Got these are not Lume Cubes, they're the cheaper version Ulanzi, which are a lot cheaper. They die quickly, but they work. You can put them on a tripod and shit. Desk lamp here. There's another desk lamp here. I've got about 3 of these. Just clip them on. 3 different modes.
Yeah. Yep.
Or I've got, yeah, so I can, in one shot, I could have about 20 different lights going just to get the atmosphere that I need. So yeah, you can never have enough lights. This thing's still on. So yeah, that advice, just for photography, focus on the pose, contained, camera angle, and your lighting. Everything else is second. I always make sure that that's what I get right first, and then I work on everything else afterwards. Like me, the shot I did a whole video on it actually from start to finish of Kingpin throwing a desk at Spider-Man, and it looks like Kingpin's,
I love that shot,
but it's actually cheers, man. He's somersaulting out the way. The whole beginning of that, I just got my camera angle right. I wanted, this is where I want Spider-Man in the shot. And I want the desk, because the desk and Spider-Man's pose were the main thing, and then the camera angle. It's like, and then I know what kind of room I've got left in the frame to fill where I need. And then everything else just came after it. Then I put in like 10 different flight stands, and there's a time lapse of me putting the whole thing together. With me narrating over it like I'm fucking David Attenborough over Planet Earth or some shit. And here we have, watch. He takes his shot. But it's it was a great video to do. The shot took ages, but I was happy with the end result. But I'll try and approach every shot like that, really. Unless there's something, well, the ones that really are difficult is where I set up the pose and I set up the camera angle, but I actually need to move him out the way in order to get what I need in the shot for the background. Like if I need a floor piece that's going to be visible, it's like, fuck, I've got to move him now. I can't just build everything around it. Or if I need to just have something peeking in the corner, just to fill that area of dead space, because dead space is also another one to worry about. The grind is crazy trying to get the picture. So yeah, so each picture I try and do something I've not done before in. Some of the tricks are really easy, like illuminating translucent effects. Hit the light from behind, hit the effect from behind in order to get it to pop the way you want it to pop. Hitting it front on does nothing. And yeah, like hiding flight stands. Hiding a flight stand just depends on the angle. Like there's a Spider-Man shot of where he's shooting a web coming out of an alleyway. And I've got bits of paper like, covering the stand. Like his basically his arm doing that is hiding the stand because I've got it wedged up in his crotch. That's right, because he's got the web and he's like holding it down as he's about to spring out. So half the stand has been hidden by his arm, and I put a piece of paper right up close and then a piece of paper right into the foreground, so it gives you that depth that the lit has just been blown in. It's hiding the stand. Little things like that. So there's loads of different tricks. So yeah, if you ever need eyes on the shot, man, or if you want to, just fire it over, let me know and I'll help you. I put Turtle Boy through the ringer. He was trying to display his second time around dire with Raph on the corner because he'd made the street sign corner with Bleecker and whatever, and he had that second time around dire in the background, and Raph reading a newspaper was the focal point. And he sent it over to me. He's like, Ben, can you help me with the shot? I was like, yeah, bring the camera just here because I can still see a little bit of your room over here. Try and cover that bit up there because I can still see your shelves. Zoom in, bring it in a little bit more so it'll, you won't need to worry about covering it. You can actually just reduce it a bit more. Get a light coming through this way so it highlights the side of the wall. And then, so bring your focus, get your focus sharp on Raph. It ended up getting featured on ACBA on their page, and it blew up. And I was like, shit, so I've done that for other people, and it's been gotten nowhere. But that's the grind with ACBA on the group is it takes a while, but it's fun. But yeah, I put him through the ringer every time he sent it over. I was like, just change this little bit here, just change a little bit there. After about 10 goes, I thought, that's it, that's the one, that's the grind. But it's really rewarding when you get the one you want.
It is. There was a shot that I was trying to do the other day, and I was just getting frustrated because I couldn't get the light just right. So I had to walk away from it. And then the next day I went back to it and then, adjusted it a little bit more. I was like, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
It's there. But for me, it's always the lighting. The lighting is definitely the hardest for me. Like when it comes to like posing the figures and doing the setup, that's like posing is easy for me. Like I could pose figures for days, and the setup is always fun. Like I like setting up the alley there, making it look all, trashed and everything. That's fun. But the lighting is where it's hard for me. Like there's a few shots that I've done recently where it's like it's just getting that light just right to where it needs to be, to where it actually makes sense, and lights up the main character the way it needs to be, puts a shadow on the background character the way it needs to be. Like it gets frustrating, and more times than not, I end up like leaving it and then going back to it the next day and then trying to, adjust it a little bit more and all that. But yeah, it's definitely a mission to get some stuff done,
Hard. I tell you, one of the most frustrating things for me is, again, spending all day trying to all the time on the shot, trying to get the lighting right. And just as you think you've got it and you're like ready to, okay, this is it. And then one of my lights dies. The battery just goes.
Yeah.
Fuck. And I really haven't got much time, so I have to stick it on charge and wait. By that time, I'm tweaking little things here and there. The light's charged again. My camera battery dies. And I'm just like, I'm getting really. The amount of times I've wanted just to pick up my whole setup and just try it. It's very emotional.
Yeah.
Very emotional.
Yep.
But yeah, like you say, I find it fun experimenting with lighting. But when you know how you want it to look and then trying to get it and it's not working is very frustrating at the same time. Like trying to make it sense in the scene, like, okay, if he's in an alleyway and it's daytime, where's the sun coming from? Is it going to be coming down from this way? Nighttime, is it going to be street illumination? Is it going to be traffic illumination? All sorts. One thing I do like playing with, and I've just experimented with right now, is the rain technique with high shutter speed and just letting the rain fall.
Yeah,
a lot of people use a spray bottle than that. But as we're on stream right now, I'm going to send it to you in DM. I can't show it now, but my shot that because I've been featured into the X Glue Magazine 100 project, and the draft that I'm really happy with to be included in that, along with Zack, who was just on earlier as well. And the shot is exclusive to them, so that I will show you what it is, but I can't post it up until the magazine comes out.
Right.
But yeah, that was my first time really playing with rain and have it look on camera. So there's tons of light needed for that. Slow shutter speed. Oh yeah, and basically knowing the ins and outs of your camera as well. I adjust my white balance, my aperture, my f-stop all the time, just try and boost it. But for some reason, I have to also take into account if it's going to be a dark shot, then I may need to. The only editing I do outside of everything's tangible, even the lighting. But anything post taking the shot will be literally just adjusting the brightness if I need to, because for some reason, even if it looks perfect the way I want it in my viewfinder of my camera, even if I get it onto my laptop and it looks great, as soon as I get it onto my phone, the whole thing darkens. The whole picture just looks 10 times darker than what it was. And I don't know why, but I have to boost it up slightly just to get to the brightness that it originally was. And then I have to take into consideration the harsh white backdrop of Instagram and the harsh white backdrop of the layout of Facebook, because that will just diffuse all the light in a dark picture. So if you see a post and you click into it and it brings it up and it drops to their black backdrop, all the colors and light become, are there. But as soon as you click out and you go back to that harsh white backdrop that is the Facebook layout, all of it just goes away and it just looks 10 times darker than it originally was. So I try and take into account that, especially if it's...
That's a good point, because I had that problem with the the Batman shot I did like 2 posts ago. It was it came out really, really dark, like on Instagram than the shot that I actually took. It came out a lot darker because yeah, I didn't take that into consideration, the white background of, you know, Instagram and everything like that. That
So
makes
sometimes,
sense.
yeah, just have like, because because of the layout, it's so damn bright and white, and it just diffuses
Yeah.
everything. So I sometimes overly brighten it to a point where you know, this is a lot brighter than what I want it to be. But as soon as you then stick it on Insta or Facebook, it's fine. It looks as bright as you want it because you compensated for that harshness of their layout.
Right.
Which I, you know, it's only something I recently sort of attuned myself to as well. I was, oh shit, yeah, that's a factor as well. But yeah, I try and go for straight from the viewfinder onto the page, but for some reason everything just darkens. If it's a daylight shot, it's a bit different, but everything just darkens as soon as I get it onto my phone. It's weird. But yeah, I'll fire that shot over to you. It's not Turtles. It's not Turtles. No. I didn't want them to have an exclusive turtle shot of mine. All the turtle shots are mine. I didn't want them to actually own one and have it only there. So I did something with Alien and Predator.
Right.
It's all back to my roots. So, but yeah, I'll fire that over. Right, I might have to wrap it up, mate, because it's 1 a.m. here.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. I gotta get back to the kids too. So.
Yeah, no, mate, I appreciate your time 100%. It's been an absolute blast having you on and getting to talk to you properly. Out to the DMs.
Great, man.
Oh man, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's been an absolute blast for me as well. And yeah, let me see if anyone. Yeah, we've got 3 people still on. Bless you, you're soldiers for carrying on. But yes, again, Jesse, mate, thanks so much for being on. It's been an honor, and you're welcome back anytime. By the way, this is just a hangout. I love doing these because it's just cool to just shoot the shit and hang out for a couple of hours.
Brother. Yeah, let me know. Definitely let me know anytime you want, dude.
For sure, man, for sure. So yeah, let the good people of the interwebs know where they can find you.
I'm only on Instagram. That's the only one that I'm on. Just Clean Slate Customs, straight through, no underscores, no spaces, just Clean Slate Customs. Nice. Instagram, that's it.
Nice and easy, one place. There you go. Meet him at 3 o'clock for a good time. You'll find it written on his wall. Yeah, so Clean Slate Customs. I'll put links to his Instagram in the description as soon as I get access to the video. And yeah, you can follow me at Project Piper Customs. I'll put Zack's Instagram and stuff in the description as well. SNA Toyz with an underscore in the middle. And Project Piper Customs for me on Instagram, Facebook, and on YouTube here. And yeah, thanks very much again to the chat. Let's have a quick flick through because I always forget. No, nothing else in the chat, so we're good there. And yeah, thanks again, Jesse, mate. I appreciate you, buddy. And we'll catch up soon. I'll give you a shout tomorrow.
Definitely, brother.
And, yeah, thanks for everyone watching still. And until next time, see you later. So let's end this. Take care, my friend. All the best to you.